Now look at it.
What happened?
You don't see the line?
What lines?
Don't worry about it. Hey, everybody.
There's nobody.
I know.
I don't
Not
think.
yet.
Yeah, because you started it early.
I know.
You started it early, so now we're sitting here
For 10 minutes.
talking to ourselves, and maybe someone is there and maybe not. Well, we're seeing lines. We don't know if anybody who's going to watch this is going to see lines. So
Maybe it's nice and clear on
yeah,
their end.
maybe it's nice and clear on their end. If somebody pops in here, we can ask them.
Yeah, they can tell us if they see lines or not.
Yeah, but in the meantime,
In the meantime, we're just
meantime,
here. We got two people.
sitting
Yay.
here talking
Hey,
to
two people.
ourselves.
David
Oh,
McKell.
yeah, it says it's clear.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Hey, David. How
it's
are you?
clear. So because we have no idea. We have no idea what that looks like.
It just looks weird on our
Yeah,
end.
it's
like,
it's this weird scrolling effect on our screen, but
yeah.
it could just be the lighting. There's
Hey,
Willie is here. Thanks for joining us today, Willie.
With Fred Flintstone.
That's one of those properties that's fading away.
Spike.
Yeah, the Flintstones and Raggedy Ann and Andy and Popeye and a lot of those old IPs are just kind of disappearing. Yeah, my friend Wildly, David says he's an artist formerly known as Blue Splash. That sounds familiar. Blue Splash, I know who that is. Ron Ross. Oh, he's in a great mood because Dallas lost.
Oh, you talking about ball games?
Is it basketball season already?
Football. Don't listen to David. Well, we don't watch sports, but at least you can know what teams are what.
Neither of us watch team sports of any kind.
No.
So, yeah, we don't know anything about that.
We don't know who plays or when, if they lose, if they don't lose. I know Atlanta's been trading coaches and firing and hiring because I heard it on the news, but that's all. Nice Thundercats shirt. Thanks. Yay. Yeah, I love the
hey,
nostalgia. Oh yeah, I said hey.
Did you?
Yeah. The shirts like this, and you can find. You know who has a lot of them? Five Below has a lot.
They do if you can get into a Five Below, and it doesn't look like there was just an earthquake. Every time we go to a Five Below, and there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah, it does look kind of trashy at times.
It's starting to look like Family Dollar.
Yeah.
Or Dollar General, even worse.
Yeah.
Dollar General looks worse than Family
Dollar. But they
do
have a lot of nice shirts there. And then you just go around, and especially at thrift stores, I'll look through the T-shirts.
Sometimes
you find the vintage shirts, and then I'll pick them up.
Some of those vintage T-shirts are actually worth quite a bit in the aftermarket.
Yeah,
because they're pretty rare to find. I've got some promo shirts from when I was dealing with New England Comics way back in the early '90s. I've got like a couple of promo shirts from the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie.
Oh, really?
And from the Max when it first came out, and Lobo. And I used to have some X-Men ones, but they're gone.
Packers from Milwaukee.
Willie says, and Hank is here.
Hey, Hank.
Hope all is well. Yeah, it came from the show today.
Yeah, today we went to the Middle Georgia Comic Convention in Macon, Georgia. And it was fun. We had a really nice time. Of course, we did a video, and it's currently processing now.
Yeah, so it's processing, so it should be up by tomorrow.
Yeah, we had a really good time. That's the one we've been to before, and they used to have it in a hotel.
Yeah.
And it's been in that hotel 50 years, I think they said. And then they tried to expand, and they moved it to a bigger location, which is nice, but now it's like half Artist Alley.
Yeah.
And I know last year a lot of people were complaining about that.
Yeah, and we don't, typically when we do the shows, we don't film too much of the Artist Alley. If something specific catches our eye, but we don't mess with it too much because a lot, it sounds like I'm being evil, but a lot of people don't want to see it.
No. And this year, they moved to an even bigger location, and they had it for 2 days, and they still had about half Artist Alley, but it wasn't that many people there. So I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot
Yeah.
with all that artist alley because people don't like that.
Yeah,
And
they don't say, well, this is this concept that you see a lot with
mhm,
show promoters, and it's really kind of wrecked the big cons like
yeah,
San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con, which you can't hardly find comics at anymore. But they have this concept of nerd culture, and to them, it's all like one big mass. It's like a
yeah,
big ball. It's a stew, and we can just mix anything in there, and it'll taste fine. And that's not true. It's
yeah,
not true. If you go to something and if it's promoted as comics or toys or whatever, that's what you expect to see. You don't expect to see doilies. You don't expect to see
spices,
exotic soaps and
candles.
yeah, and honey. So somebody's beekeeping natural honey, and it's like that's like flea market stuff, and
Yeah,
it feels weird.
it does. And now I'm noticing because when I start
Hey
researching,
Ridley.
hey Ridley, researching shows for us to go to, some of them will say pop culture,
Mm-hmm.
like something con and pop culture. And I notice when you see the word pop culture, it's going to be a lot of artist alley.
Because from the promoter's perspective, they like to lump it like that because then they can turn around and from in their minds, I rented a table
Yeah.
basically.
Because they really don't care. Because
Yeah,
to them, money is money.
yeah,
If you selling books, if you selling t-shirts, you selling records, you selling spices, you selling your homemade jelly, what do I care?
yeah. I
The
rented
table,
the table,
yeah, the table is $120, period.
but it kills the purity of the con, and that's a lot of the patrons and a lot of the other vendors. They don't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I guess it's okay if they separate it a little better,
yeah.
you know, separate it.
Hank says, agreed, toys and comics are what I want to see. You can leave the art stuff out. Yeah, and you know, it depends if it's truly nostalgic culture. Like I said, if I saw a vendor there that had vinyl records, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah,
You know, or the guy with the vintage posters. Okay,
yeah.
you know, that can tie in. I get it, but
Like we saw a guy today, their booth was patches, pins, and like those silk screens.
yeah,
So that's what he had. So
but
we
it's
of course,
all. Oh, go ahead.
of course we videotaped that, and
Hmm.
the patches were like vintage, like the patches that I wear on my jackets and stuff like that. So that was cool.
Yeah,
And he had a huge booth, and it was all just that: pins,
yeah.
patches, and vinyl screens, or the silk screens. Sorry,
Silk
silk
screens.
screens. Yeah,
But I mean, if you go into, I don't expect, like I said, to be buying soap on a rope at a comic show. And then they totally other times they can mislead you. Like I don't mind if there's autograph sessions set up, and
hmm,
we kind of felt like we got okey doked at the Power Ranger show because they advertised it as a
yeah.
toy and comic convention. And when we got there were no comic vendors, one toy vendor, and he was selling pops.
Well, I mean, they
And
they advertised it as Power
Power
Ranger
Rangers
Con.
toy and comics is what they said. And so, but you know, if you're into cosplay and autographs, it was fine.
Yeah,
But the rest of it was all artist alley stuff. It was
yeah,
all like wood sculptures and
yeah.
puzzles, and it's like, dude,
Beer can or bottle
yeah,
openers. His Ridley's birthday was yesterday. He did
yeah.
some eBaying because he got some money. I don't know. I haven't got money for my birthday since I was a kid. I think.
I
People
want
still
send me
get
some
money.
cash. My birthday already passed.
I would love to get money for my birthday. But I remember as a kid, you used to get an envelope with some money in it. But now, I guess they say, no, you're an adult now. You didn't get nothing. Hey,
No,
Logic.
he says excited to catch us live.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We just decided to go live.
Excuse me.
Tomorrow's a holiday,
Oh yeah.
so we don't go to work tomorrow.
Mhm.
So it makes it easier when you don't have to work the next day.
Yeah.
You can stay up. You don't feel pressured or rushed. and then you don't feel like, oh man, I got to get off so I can get ready for bed, so I can get ready to go to work tomorrow. So we like that.
That's another point, David. He says a lot of shows near me have too much modern stuff and
Yeah.
high charge entrance fees, and a
Yeah.
high fee will turn us off. We
So I quit going.
yeah, there you go. But
Yeah.
so because when we talk about shows
Hmm.
that we might go to when we do our like weekly roundup, and we're like, hey, announcements. This show's coming up, that show's coming up, and there are shows that are like within striking distance for us. Might be Tennessee, might be South Carolina, whatever.
Yeah.
But if that show has like a $60 door charge, I'm not going. I'm sorry, because I've been to shows like that, and they usually end up being like 90% cosplayers dancing around in front of cameras and artist alley stuff, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to pay $60 to go see that. I know I sound like I'm being a jerk, but that's how I feel about it. I want the purity of the show back. I want to see toys. I want to see comic books. I want to see vinyl records. I want to see, vintage related items that tie into pop culture, but not, you know.
Oh, really said he usually gets together with his mom and grandma, but since it was -9 degrees all day,
Mhm.
mama just sent him some money
I see.
and he went and bought some stuff on eBay.
It started off like 29 degrees here this morning.
Yeah, and
And
I
then
was like,
it
man,
flipped.
it's gonna be rotten. But then, but you're inside. So we were inside, and it was nice and comfortable inside. And
Yeah.
then we came back outside, and it was warmed up. It got up to like 60 degrees. So I
Yeah.
was like, wow, okay.
Big
But
switch.
yeah, it switched really quick. So that was cool. But the show all overall, the
Yeah.
show was good. We had a good time. We met some vendors, and just had a lot of chance to talk, see
Sure.
some good books, some toys, because they had some toys there.
There was stuff I was interested in and forgot about because I asked, "Oh, how much is that?" or things like that. But I ran into a couple of deals that
Yeah.
were so phenomenal because you can't really go honestly to
Hmm.
I believe unless you just have like $1 million to spend a toy or comic show and just be like, yes, I am only going to find this and I'm going to buy this. It's sort of like a target of opportunity kind of deal.
Yeah.
And there was some things that came up that I'm like, how much? Are you serious? And I could not pass it up.
Ooh, been snowed in for 2 days. Where are you in Chicagoland area?
Yeah.
I do not miss that.
Yeah, we used to live in Chicago. Well,
Oof,
not Chicago, but Elgin.
Elgin,
Mhm.
which is the Chicagoland area. Um, And yeah, oh God, it used to snow all the time, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Seemed like soon as October came, the snow came right along with it. I watched through the Jurassic Park World Series recently. Hasbro didn't bother to make figures for
For
Dominion.
Dominion.
That's the newest.
I don't know which one that is.
I bought parts to make an older.
I've only ever seen the original. I saw the first one and that's it. And then but the very first wave of the was it Kenner, right?
Mhm.
Jurassic Park figures. Those are worth something.
Mm.
Hank says another okey doke is when they advertise toys and comics and you get there and it's all anime stuff.
Well, around here they advertise it as anime because there's a big anime
crowd.
crowd here. So they do a good job of advertising.
Yes.
This is an anime show,
Hmm.
you know. So, but it was one time we thought it was a comic show, and it wasn't. It was all anime. I mean, all they had was manga books and anime memorabilia. Everybody was dressed in anime,
All
and
these
it was
fake
like, ooh,
swords and like
yeah.
tails that you stick in your butt and whatever weird crap. Rabbit ears.
Use regular. Okay. Um, I thought I saw some of the newer Jurassic Park figures on clearance because
Yeah.
if you've seen David Short, I actually went to Walmart
Oh yeah.
this week and they had a lot of clearance stuff. And I thought maybe I saw some. I took some pictures of the things. Well, not everything. I only took pictures
If I
of the
get a
stuff that
chance, I'll
I
do another
liked.
quick short just to give people a
Whoa.
heads up so that they can, they can take advantage of the cheap prices,
Mm-hmm.
over Walmart, Ross, Ollie's.
Yeah. And Big Lots sell clearance stuff too
Uh
now.
huh.
Um,
They're not as good though.
but Walmart had those Ollie prices because we saw the Roton for
$5.
$5. The superpower figures from McFarlane was
Yeah,
$5.
the vehicles too.
The vehicles.
Yeah.
They didn't have figures. They only had the vehicles, but they did have Dungeons and Dragons for $5.
Yeah.
So I didn't get pictures of the Dungeons and Dragons. And then Ross, they had the wasn't that NECA, the monster, the Bride of
Yeah,
Frankenstein
they had
NECA
NECA
did that,
stuff
right? Yeah.
for
That
like
was
$9 or something.
$9.
Yeah. David says
The
he's got
local.
to start hitting up local antique shops so I can visit the comic vendors to fill out the background of figure display.
You know, be careful at the antique shops because those comics aren't always that cheap.
Yeah, they
At the
come.
antique
I did
mall.
a short from the antique mall just showing because that guy had that one booth and it's full of vintage toys and comics.
Hmm.
He's not cheap though, and
Yeah.
you see that often. You can find deals. I've
Yeah.
had some luck. I'm actually doing a video with some of the pickups I had from the local flea market recently that we went to this past weekend actually, and I had some surprisingly good luck. It's rare anymore because
Hmm.
everybody's an expert. Everybody's on eBay, and they're like, "Oh yes, I see that I can get this much," and and then they'll try to gouge you, and you're sitting there at the flea market looking at it like, "Are you nuts? How much in this condition? What are you like Goodwill? Because they're as bad." But you can score from time to time. You can find some stuff that'll shock you, and you're like, "Wow, that's a
Yeah.
great price."
And
You know,
also look around on Facebook Marketplace. We did buy
sometimes, yeah,
we did buy a couple of lots out of Facebook Marketplace. Be careful though, because one time we saw a lot. The person said that they were close to us, like 20 minutes away. And then when we tried to make the deal and ask for the address, they were like 6 hours away. You know, so they'll try to scam you at
yeah,
times. Oh, so you're trying to build some dioramas? That's cool.
yeah.
I like seeing those. You go to some of the shows and they have the big diorama displays. Camp Crusade is more geared towards kids, so all the deaths are of
Joe
adults.
Fest puts up dioramas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe Fest and Joe Lanta, they
that one
both
we
does.
filmed a couple of years ago with the Kraken with
Yeah, that was at Joe
all the
Lanta.
6 scale figures was
Mm-hmm.
pretty
Quit
interesting.
carrying. Wow, my local Walmart quit carrying the Masters of the
They
Universe
ain't selling.
figures. I haven't seen any for some time. Yeah.
The
Hey
stuff's not
Jay,
selling.
my
Yeah.
friend, why you must.
Oh, you're talking to Widely.
Yeah,
He's close, Wisconsin. Yeah. And
yeah.
Thor Anacosta is here. What does he say?
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
No,
I
you
skipped it
skipped
by
ahead.
accident. Yeah. 12 years ago started making.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Happy
Hey,
New
Happy New
Year.
Year, Thor.
Now the world might be coming to an end due to Todd raising his prices. I heard that.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
$40.
we had the figure price hike on the horizon. As for me, I'll pick and choose like I always do. Yeah, you need to pick and choose.
Yeah, I like what he's doing. Like he's pulling out some of the DC characters that you don't always see.
Yeah, like he did Thunder Bunny. I mean, who would have guessed that?
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
that's what people want to see, stuff that hasn't been done 50 times.
yeah, but you don't want to see it for $40.
No, you don't. But yeah, of course he was going to go up eventually. And
Yeah.
Todd, they love giving him all these nicknames like Todd Father and stuff like that. But he's really just a marketing genius, is what he is, and he'll take advantage of every niche to make money.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
it
in business
works.
to make. He's he's in business to make money. You know, I don't know how true any of his interest in this nostalgia or culture is, but
I mean, if he can do it and
if
it
he can do it,
sells and he
yeah,
does a good job, it doesn't matter, I guess, if
yeah,
you're that into it. You know, you found something, it works.
sure,
You know, you don't have to like it. Just I'm serious. I mean, you know, you do a good job.
yeah,
It makes money, it pays the bills. I mean, I guess enjoy doing it so you can continue to do a good job, but you don't have to collect it.
yeah, because he wasn't even really a comic book artist, if I remember correctly. He was like a, geez, what was it, a graphics designer or something like that. He
Oh wow.
designed like costumes or fabrics he'd draw, you
Oh
know,
wow.
and but it made for an interesting style. That's why he has a lot of detail.
Mhm.
But then, if you really look at the human shapes and figures and look at their faces and stuff, they're
Mhm.
really kind of weird. But it works. It's an interesting, unique style,
Yeah.
you know. But I don't think that comic books was never really. I don't think that was really his intention. It just kind of where he ended up was where he was making money.
Well, hey, he found something and it works.
Yeah,
So, I guess that's good.
and being weird with that can work. It's like everybody picks on, is it Littfield
Mhm.
or Liefeld? I can't remember how to pronounce that guy's name. And they pick on him, oh, he can't draw eyes, he can't draw feet, he can't draw this and that. Go back and look at his DC stuff.
Ah.
Go back and look at his DC stuff, the stuff that when he was doing the Hawk and Dove second series, he can draw eyes and feet. He does it all are weird and artistic on purpose because it
Mm.
works for him as far as drawing attention to his art style. William says collecting turtles at Grayskull. Really like them so far. Started a Facebook group called Wolfie's Fun
I'm gonna write
House.
that down so we can join his Facebook group. I've
Okay.
seen those turtles of Grayskull. They actually look good.
Uh huh.
I'm revamping my whole
Yeah, she's
collecting.
changing her
Um
style.
yeah, my collecting style. I'm not getting rid of anything. I'm just changing what I buy. Even when it comes to comics, the comics and the toys, I just want to go in a different direction. I'm just kind of not feeling it. What is it? Wolfie's Funhouse
Wolfie's Fun House.
on Facebook.
David says it's like statue style action figures. Yeah, because some of his figures are really impractical. They barely move or can't move.
Yeah,
You know.
it's like almost like figurines.
Oh, and there's T. Stewart.
Hey, T. Stewart, how are you?
Ridley says saw a video the other day talking about collectors buying sealed vintage figures with the purpose of opening them. I think opening sealed figures is selfish to people who tend to collect it in a box. I know who you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
We've seen him before. Can't watch his videos. He if you're talking about the same guy, I've seen this guy. He gets a lot of views, but it's
Mhm.
shock value
Mhm.
because he'll buy like perfect unpunched, like high tier, high quality carded action figure. Like
Mhm.
the one I saw was it Indiana Jones? I want to say
Mhm.
unpunched and everything, flawless, and he tears it apart. He just rips it to shit, and then he takes the figure out to so he can display it loose and have it a perfect loose example. And it's like you beat at an auction people that have been looking for one in that condition for years,
Mhm.
so that you could destroy it on camera for views.
Yeah.
Is what you did. And I just, I saw him do that with some carded Mego
I
figures,
remember that
and I
guy.
was like, oh, dude, you can find them loose, or you know what, you can find one on a really crappy card. The card's fallen apart to junk,
Mhm.
and then no one will care. Or carefully open it and then resell the packaging. Somebody wants that package. You don't have to destroy something that's flawless, that survived 40, 50 years. And I mean, it's a great way to get YouTube views, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he get a lot of views and he's monetized and get a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
money. But that's again, and
That
I
hurt my
say
feelings.
it does. It's painful, but that's his money. If
Yeah.
he want to spend, okay, for let's say a Star Wars figure loose is $75.
Yeah.
Complete good shape loose is $75.
Excuse me.
But in a mint package is $800. That's his $800.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, you know, and
Yeah.
I say it all the time because it's true, and nobody likes it. Don't spend other people money, but you should. I do
I get what
agree.
you're saying.
I do agree. I wouldn't want to see that
Yeah.
because I don't like it. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
Because I remember we did. I don't remember the guy's name,
Yeah.
who it was, but I do remember we were watching the channel and he had on there, oh, got this figure. And it was something that I was interested in seeing until he ripped it to shreds. And then I'm like, dude,
Ow.
that's just
Yeah.
unnecessary. But again, that's your money.
Yeah.
You got so much that you want to do that. Hey, more power to you. I wish I had that much money.
Yeah. It's because for me, looking
Hey,
at the
Gilgamesh.
conditions, yeah,
Mhm.
Gilgamesh is here.
Mhm.
It's a historic value, like this.
Mhm.
The flap's not even folded. This is a sealed figure. There's not very many of these floating around.
No.
1976 Mego, 12-inch Batman. This is the regular one, not the magnetic one. But how many of these do you think are still floating around in this condition? That's a piece of history right there. To me, it's a piece of history. I couldn't open this.
No.
I couldn't. You know.
And again, if you want to open it, that's fine. I think you should just be respectful with stuff. But again, that's your money. If you got it like that to where you can buy a figure that you know good and well you want loose, and you rather pay $800 for a seal instead of the $75.
Or like I said, buy it on a wrecked card. I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
I
not
have.
saying per my concern is if you want it loose, then buy. Yeah,
Yeah.
buy it loose if you want it loose.
See this Chewbacca, this
Hey,
Johnny Future,
going to work.
this deluxe Chewbacca, right? He's perfect because he was in a box. The box was completely torn to bits, right? So I removed him and I sold the box. And actually, the box, what it ended up going for at auction, paid for it, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
But I was just like, yeah, the flaps are gone. The top and bottom flap are missing. The cellophane window is torn out. He's already, his twist ties have been removed already anyways, but he's in perfect physical condition. I don't mind taking him out of that box. It's already ripped apart. But if he was, if he was in like an excellent condition box, if it was like this, hold on. This Princess Leia here, who's sealed, and the flap is unfolded and everything. I'm not opening this. No way.
No,
I couldn't do it.
But I mean, it's a lot there because now you got to think of, okay, what kind of person is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a lot there that you can unpack if you wanted to sit around and do that. But hey, again, that's that guy money.
Yeah, Johnny would lose his mind.
Oh yeah, he'd have a heart attack if he saw that. Just imagine someone open up a G.I. Joe aircraft carrier vintage one. Wow, what a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. What gets me is this collector will pay the in the box. Yeah, have the experience of opening it, which is his money, but just makes it
And
it does
again,
make it harder.
He could find a damaged box. It's already opened.
You can find it loose in a complete loose.
Yeah, and I love the art on some of the stuff too.
Yeah,
the art is part of it. Like here is Fisher Price. Look at that Adventure People.
Yeah,
that jet drawn on there. That's nice.
Yeah,
and then you see little kids playing with it, but a lot of detail went into vintage box art and card art back in the day to try to give it that eye appeal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind buying damaged boxes or
Mhm.
cards if it says it's damaged and boxed.
Mhm.
That's fine.
That's
But
what
I'm not
Wiley.
tearing it up myself.
That's what Wiley was
Yeah.
saying. I look for I. That's what I do. I look for card or figure with a junk card, and then take it out. Say if the card's already done,
Yeah.
then
Especially if you
yeah,
know you want it loose anyway.
yeah,
Why pay premium price if you know you want it loose? But again,
yeah. What are you gonna do?
that's that man money. He got it like that to
Yeah.
spend. More power to you. Maybe one day we'll get there. All of us will get there. But we just got money to just throw away. Do you think in 100 years collectors will have a hard time making distinctions between? Yeah, I
You
do.
think so?
Because they 3D print stuff now, and a
You
lot of
know what?
times
Oh, go
people
ahead.
don't even tell you it's 3D printed.
You know,
Sometimes, oh, sorry.
it's
Sometimes
okay.
they do, sometimes they don't. Go ahead.
Something that's come up with that 3D printed stuff, though, I've been reading articles about recently, and people have been because people are throwing it out there and asking,
Mm-hmm.
"Do you have anything 3D printed, and how long have you had it?"
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff
Mm-hmm.
is starting to dissolve. It's
Wow.
falling apart.
Wow.
So, like, if you had something that was 3D printed like 5, 6 years ago, bits are starting to crumble off of them.
Oh.
So, yeah, you know what? Yeah, the way that the 3D printing process runs and how it's constructed, in 100 years, it may not be here.
What about the 3D printed houses?
Well, that's concrete, though.
Oh.
That they basically just spray in concrete,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's not technically 3D printing. But the other type, doing it with plastic,
Mm-hmm.
because you're just layering it, layering it, layering it, and apparently it doesn't adhere as well as people thought.
Oh. Wow.
William said, I talked to Junkman tonight. He said it's 55 degrees in Georgia tonight, 3 degrees in northwest Ohio. Part of Lake Erie was blown away by strong winds. Crazy weather here.
Yeah, I saw in some places in the Midwest they're going to have 100 in Colorado, 104-mile-per-hour winds.
Uh,
Did they release the vintage Ghostbuster firehouse that Kenner had? But
but
Hasbro
Hasbro re-released it. I'm not sure, but if they did, the date would have been at least the date stamp would have been changed.
Yeah.
Because if they completely recast something, they will change the dates if it's official.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Gilgamesh says it's 50 where he's at.
I don't know what it is here.
50 degrees in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me
Mm-hmm.
see. It's 42. 42
Yeah,
degrees.
temperature's dropping. It's supposed to be snowing and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Who
we'll
knows?
see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it was supposed to storm Friday and it rained a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was it.
But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is okay.
It'd be nice and then we can have a day or two off from work.
Yeah. And anyway, I got probably maybe I'll put it up Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna filming the stuff that I picked up at the flea market because it's rare anymore.
Oh,
And
okay.
we've talked about that a lot because it's like, thrift stores, flea markets, yard sales, it's hard to find deals anymore. But every once in a while you can. And I did have some luck this past weekend.
Oh, they putting out even a newer round of Ghostbusters?
Yeah, two new films. They're doing Ghostbusters again.
I had heard that, but then it came up,
Yeah.
but then it kind of went away, so I forgot about it. Oh wow.
Ridley says if I chuck a NECA figure against the wall, it'll break in 100 pieces. I could storm the beaches of Normandy with a genuine Star Wars figure, and it would still be in one piece. Used to be built to last. That's true. These old figures, and I got a ton of vintage pieces. If they're loose, they're solid.
Yeah.
I've got the vintage GI Joe 60s and 70s Joes. I've shown those before. They're excellent physical condition. Even the vintage Migos. You get a loose vintage Migo figure because there are the people who collect the new Migo will tell you. There was one guy I was talking to him on one of Lou's live streams,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that I've got the vintage and the new ones next to each other, Star Trek, and there was something happened and they fell off the shelves, and the new Migo Star Trek figures all broke.
Oh wow.
The elbows and the knees broke on them, but the original 1974 Migo Star Trek figures were fine. That tells you something.
classified figs at Walmart the other day. Was going to buy it till I realized someone had ripped the box open
Oh
and sold
no.
everything in it.
Oh, Johnny says, I'm glad
And you both like,
yes.
yes, we did. Thank you. Thank you,
Me.
thank you, thank you.
Still got a bit of a sore throat. Yeah, Johnny sent us this. Well, you might have seen the video, but I got something he sent me here, and that's this.
The Rambo, because David got some Rambo figures.
Yes, I do. I have a handful of carded Rambo. Coleco made this. Coleco invested a lot in that cartoon.
I never saw the cartoon. We're watching vintage cartoons, as y'all all know. And
yeah.
What are we on now?
Smurfs.
Yeah, we're watching the Smurfs. Smurfs is hilarious. If y'all ever seen the Smurfs.
The original Droopy.
Droopy is funny.
Droopy short. There's only actually 20 Droopy shorts, and they merged them with Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, that one last night with that wolf was hilarious, though. That wolf trying to blow the house
the one that whistles
down.
Dixie.
Yeah,
he comes back again. I think they did 2 with him. The wolf is perfect. He's pretty funny.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. Some of those shows are good. But any new movies anybody seen? Super 7 Destroyer. It's huge. And for $100.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because the Super 7 does get Godzilla now too. Everybody's got the Godzilla.
Super
license.
7 is losing. I don't know if they're losing or they're getting rid of, not renewing the Disney license.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what all that includes. Is it just the Disney figures that have been doing Mickey Mouse and they've been
Fantasia.
doing the Fantasia, and then what's that one with the lion? They did the lion that sucked his thumb.
Oh, Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. Mm-hmm. Or is it, well, that's really all they do. They don't do like Star Wars and any Marvel stuff. Well, but yeah, they lost that license. So
Mask is a fun show. It's actually
hey Nomsky,
pretty well written.
Oh, they lost the Simpsons.
Really?
Well, Disney owns the Simpsons, don't they?
I think they do. Disney owns the Simpsons now.
Yeah. So oh wow, okay.
Wow, if they lost G.I. Joe, that's something.
Wow.
Well, that project failed.
Yeah.
That
Cobra ship.
Yeah,
that was nice though. I kind of hope that took off because I did like that, and they did the Sky Striker did well. I mean, well, it was funded.
Hasbro though.
Oh yeah. That wasn't
Super
was 7. You were right.
Thing.
Yeah, you're right about that. No, they didn't lose GI though. They're making O-ring figures this year. Okay,
they got permission to do the O-ring style figures.
Yeah, so that was a big thing that came out this week. So I'm wondering, well, like I said, they weren't really doing too much as far as Disney, but like Nomsky said, Simpsons do. Disney does own them Simpsons, now. Yeah. So then they lost the Simpsons. Wow.
That's unfortunate.
Did you see the glow in the dark Shatara Super 7 exclusive? I forgot. Yeah, I ordered all that, and now they're doing Thundercats Wave 10, and I said I was going to go up to Wave 10, so now I'm debating. Because like I said earlier, I'm changing my whole collecting strategy. I'm changing all of that. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get Wave 10. Because like I said, I was going to get Wave 10 of Thundercats and Ninja Turtle and then just quit because it's so much.
But aftermarket, they just tank though.
Yeah, they don't do well aftermarket. Now, maybe in a couple of years, because some toy lines are like that. They don't do well immediately, but then some years down the road, they kind of pick up.
Well, when we were kids, that happened to every toy because they all ended up on clearance. We all remember Toys R Us and especially KB Toy Store with their red line prices when Power of the Force figures were 3 for $1. But those were opened and played with. Yeah. Nobody's opening this stuff, and the condition of the cards are perfect. The boxes are perfect. It's like, because again, I mean, that's why this stuff costs so much. That's why. Hold on, I got like so much within arm's reach here. That's why Maskatron is a damn fortune. There's not very many of these left that some kid didn't open and play with, you know. But if Hasbro with the Kenner license were to make this today, and they made 50,000 of them, 49,900 of them would remain sealed in perfect out of the box condition. And you know, so there's, you know, the true law of supply and demand would override it in the future. You see that with New Mego. People who collect New Mego, they don't buy one, they buy 10 of them. They buy 20.
Well, not just New Mego, all of the toys. They buy like a lot because they're hoping that in a couple of years they can resell it.
They'll resell it, but they're basing it off of their experience from childhood when 95% of it was opened. And even the loose opened ones are in rough condition from Playware.
You
know,
they still demand some money.
The rare occurrence of somebody nowadays opening an action figure and he gingerly sets it on the shelf and you know, and treats it like it's a newborn child. It's not going to have the same appeal because there's so much of it that's going to be perfect.
I hope Super 7 does continue with Toxic Crusader. I don't know why they didn't do the rest of the game. Like because they only do Toxic Crusaders and it's Mob. That's a good show.
That show
it's on Tubi.
Crazy, and it's got some really adult innuendos in it that you do not expect. That'll throw you. It'll go over the heads of a kid. It must have, obviously, but as an adult, and you're listening to it. And like when the girl was setting him up in the first episode, you remember? No, because it'd be too expensive. That's why when they did their homage and they made like who's it? Pulsar Man and Big Jim, and it was Pulsar Man, Big Jim, and Major Matt Mason,
Fabio.
right? And they did them as like little figures like this on a card. You know, Pulsar Man was a 13-inch figure in a box, not this. Okay, and then charged a fortune for it. But when the girl was setting him up before he became Toxie, and she wanted to talk to him so she could try to get him in a compromising position. She was like, "Well, what are you doing after work?" And he says, "Well, he says, usually I spend about an hour or two practicing my burping." And then she says, "Oh, what do you do after that?" He says, "Then I stroke my chicken for about another hour." And it's like, wait a minute, you know, you know what that means.
I don't know.
He don't have a chicken. Let's just put it like that.
No.
William says the last sets of figures he bought, he opened all of them: Book of Boba Fett, Retro Collection, Legends of Dragonor, Turtles of Grayskull, and some modern corpse figures.
Yeah.
My throat's still a little raw.
But I mean, we've said this before and did videos on it. In 20 years, I don't think you're going to be able to resell those figures anyway, because who are you going to resell it to? Modern kids don't buy toys. They don't play with toys. I mean, they might get an interest in the future for some toys, maybe, but will they want the modern stuff that's being made now, or the stuff that we want that was the original stuff that was made in the 70s, 80s, 90s?
And most people want as close to the original versions as possible, you know?
Yeah.
Not copy after copy after copy. So that's why the original Mattel Masters of the Universe stuff is so expensive.
Yeah.
And then you jump to the New Adventures of He-Man, and that's iffy. So there's a couple of pieces there that are worth something.
Yeah.
Most of it's not.
Those didn't look good.
Because a couple of rare things are worth something.
Yeah.
The show wasn't good.
No, we tried watching the show.
Terrible.
It was awful.
Then you had the 200X.
That show was good.
Most of that stuff's dirt cheap.
Yeah.
You can pick that up easy.
It might jump up in price. I saw something this week about that. I think they're trying to revisit that, like to do a continuation of the
so
show.
They can ruin that too?
I don't know. Hey, Robert. But that, I thought that that cartoon was well done.
Yeah. It helped answer some questions.
It did. It kind of gave you the origin of every character. So it didn't just start with here's some characters so we could sell some toys. It actually went back and gave you some origin. So it made it better.
Yeah.
I'm looking for those Turtles of Grayskull.
You'll find them.
I think but you know what? Because I'm hearing a lot of people are liking them and they're kind of popular. So you might not get a lot of that on clearance.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, because stuff that people were beating themselves over the head looking for turned up, like Crocmaster is at Ross now from Classifieds. You know, Tomax and Zaymot are at Ollie's. And I think all of the Dungeons and Dragons Hasbro figures are at Ollie's.
Yeah, I got. Oh yeah,
there's an invisible jet too.
Yeah, I remember that invisible jet. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Walmart tomorrow.
Just poke around
and just look and do some filming and seeing what's there.
Because on like rock bottom clearance prices, you can tolerate it.
A figure set. Oh yeah, they're doing a
Target.
Target.
Yeah, right. Does anybody still like Target?
I don't know. I don't know the last time I even been to Target.
No, we haven't been to Target in a long time.
No,
not in a long time.
I don't know. It's just all I want a company to do is sell their goods. That's it.
Don't tell us your political, social ideologies.
Don't tell me your thoughts or
just
opinions.
Sell me some cat litter.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or whatever. If you make ice cream, sell ice cream.
Yeah,
don't do nothing else. Just do that. And leave the rest of it alone. Whatever. I got some Dungeons and Dragons figures today. Oh, good.
That's
you got the whole set.
Yeah, worth it for under $10 each. Sure.
That's good. Because when they came out, they were like 15.
Watch the elbows on them.
Weren't they like $15 or something? I think you should pick up Batman 66.
Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah?
Really great comics, especially Superman 78.
Oh, you mean he's talking about comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were cheap. They were less than $10 at Ollie's. At the Ollie's, the Dungeons and Dragons figures, but original retail on those was like almost $30, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Gilgamesh has no choice but to go to Target. It's the only place you can find NECA.
Yeah, they do have more NECA stuff than a lot of other places. And I don't know when the last time we went to GameStop.
Oh, yeah. Or Hot Topic or...
we haven't been to the mall in a long time.
Yeah, or what's the other one? Box Lunch. We just don't go anymore. So, disappointing.
All the figures.
Novsky dumps them all in hot water first. You shouldn't have to do that. You're going to get me going.
Oh,
God. I get a pet peeve about that, right?
I know.
About the quality control issues. You shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't.
No.
You shouldn't.
No,
but
that should have been fixed. Robert says you hurt his feelings when you didn't like the animated Dungeons & Dragons characters.
I didn't like the show because it kind of just started. And they told you what happened in the intro. I got that.
Sure.
But they still didn't really explain like what was going on.
She wanted more out of it, and it felt rushed to her.
Yeah, because it was only like 5, 6 episodes, something 13. Like that. Or was it?
Or wasn't it? Yeah, something like that. 11 or 12.
It wasn't a lot of episodes.
But and especially since they knew they were getting canceled, they wanted to wrap it up, which is rare because usually they just leave you hanging.
Yeah.
But they rushed it. But you saw a lot of that in the 80s. Look at the Johnny Quest. The original Johnny Quest, that's a great show. The 60s one. The remake in the 1980s, man, they fly through those episodes so quick you get whiplash. You don't know what the hell's going on. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. But the original '60s one, that they worked on developing the plot of the show, and it had it kept you interested.
Mm-hmm. But Dungeons and Dragons, and then what really got me with it is the ending. It was like all the guy wanted them to do is do something with the guy, the shadow guy, the guy in all black was a dungeon master's son.
Yeah.
And he wanted him to persuade the son to do right or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah, you had to get the key.
And it's like, you had them go through all this. Why didn't you just say that at the beginning? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, that was unnecessary.
It's not like he didn't know what the guy was up to.
Yeah, it was just unnecessary. Yeah, the prices at Walmart and Target is just.
Well, they're not all consistent with their markdowns, is what it is.
To the toy section and ignore everything else.
Yeah.
Don't like Target much. Drop their fresh popcorn.
Oh, well, you don't want to contaminate people with your popcorn. Gnomsky agrees. And Robert says, much love, LPH. I know your jam is He-Man and Thundercat. Thundercats was a well-written show.
When I was trying to watch a few years ago, but that darn unicorn.
Well, there was this thing that shows go through. Oh, Nostalgic is here. How you doing?
Hey, Chan. Good to see
you. There's
you.
this thing that that a lot of shows go through where they feel like you have to have a mascot to be cute for the kids.
Yeah.
And it can work, or it can be really freaking annoying. Like on Masters of the Universe, your mascot, there's two, Orko and Cringer. Orko and Cringer are the cute mascots, but it works.
Yeah, because they weren't annoying. Neither one of them were annoying. Orko was actually helpful. Cringer, not so much. Battlecat wasn't helpful.
Battlecat was useless.
Yeah.
He just ran around growling at people. I don't even know why you're here, dude. But you can put a sidekick. Most of the time when they attached a sidekick to something, it was just freaking annoying.
Yeah. They did that in Flash Gordon. In the second half, I don't know if it was season 2, but Flash Gordon.
The 70s version.
Yeah. And then it was fine.
Season 1 was brilliant.
Yeah. And then season 2, they had like this dragon or something.
Zabadi.
Yeah. Something they created.
And all Zabadi ever did was say his name over and over in an extremely high pitch. And it's like, oh, please shut up. Battle of the Planets was a great show. Gatchaman. Battle of the Planets. I remember watching that.
Did you guys watch Attack of the Killer Tomato cartoon?
I don't remember it.
No.
I don't remember.
I know I haven't seen it. Had great music.
Great voices, good stories. Yeah. Well, we're watching
Hey, Eric.
Oh, Eric is here. 2 Masters of the Universe Revelations, January 25th. Oh yeah, this season 2 is supposed to be coming up.
Yeah, that's from the 200X.
Okay.
No, it's not. No, that's the Revelations. But
Revelations.
When they showed the picture, it looked like the 200X picture.
No, right now we're watching Star Blazers.
Yeah, we watched Star Blazers. Is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's not annoying.
It's the whole thing is one continuous story.
Yeah.
Even when you get into season 2, it's still the same story.
Hey, Stone Sour.
But yeah, glad you made it, Stone Sour.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a continuous story. The music is good. The storyline is good. The characters, they learn.
Yeah.
And move along. Like when Rick Hunter was like, is it Rick Hunter? Or I'm thinking of the wrong guy. I don't know. But Wildstar, Derek Wildstar. Rick Hunter's from Robotech. Derek Wildstar, and he's all angry and hating on the captain. And then the engineer pulls him aside and was like, you realize in that battle, he lost his son. He has no family left. And it was like, so don't think you're the only one. And it shut him down. And from his whole tune with the captain changed from that episode on. Yeah. So the characters develop. And it's like, that's really good writing when you do that, especially in an animated show. And the animation itself is pretty good too.
Yeah.
It's not all choppy and crappy like you see on some shows.
Dallas, Pam just told Bobby that she's moving out.
Yeah, and taking the brat with her.
Taking the kid, and Bobby is not welcome to come.
Nope.
So they're gonna separate. I think they're supposed to get a divorce, but obviously they're gonna get back together and all of that. So we'll see how that turns out. But right now, where we are is Pam.
Yes.
Just they just came from the funeral. Mama died, and Pam told Bobby she leaving.
They were always a shitty couple, anyways. And oh, by the way, going back to Nostalgic Pod Blast, put him up there real quick.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, put him on there so people can see. Nostalgic Pod Blast has a channel, and he also has a podcast on Fistful of Radio. You can look up. And he was, if you haven't seen it, our last live stream, we interviewed him.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know, that is Chance from the so-called angry girlfriend variant Spider-Man.
Yeah, if you've seen that comic, you see the picture floating around where the woman writes all kind of mean, nasty things on the front of the Spider-Man comic. Which copy was that?
Number 14, right? Spider-Man 14, first 14. Green Goblin.
Yeah. So he is the Chance that she wrote about all over the book. Which,
we go through the whole thing. He is able to demonstrate that was his book. And we did an interview with him and he gave his side of that.
Yeah, and then also a friend of his that was intimately involved or knew about it.
Yeah.
Came in to collaborate.
Yeah, briefly talked to us.
Yeah.
Custom God liked excited for the late 70s Batman cartoon, but Batmite killed it for me.
Yeah, Batmite was one of those annoying sidekicks.
Was fun, but what makes it interesting, and my flock is here. What made that interesting is that how Batman treated Batmite. Because
he treated him like garbage.
He annoyed you, but he annoyed the main character too. And he constantly was verbally abusive to Batmite, and that kind of made it a little fun.
Is True Detective one of them crime shows? Because I like those crimes where somebody get murdered and then they interview the family and the detectives. David doesn't like me watching that much, so I don't as often as I would like to.
No.
But no, we haven't seen that. But every so often I'll slip one in there. Great to see you guys. Thanks, by the way. Hey, James. The Blu-ray of the old 60s.
Minus poor Batmite.
I haven't seen the 66 Batman since I was a kid.
I have it. I have the whole set, and we'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, I remember watching it. Well, I remember it being on as a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember mainly the narrator, because it would always end almost like what Rocky and Bullwinkle did. Will Batman get out of this? Let's tune in next week.
That makes it fun. I like that. David says he wants to watch Brave Star.
We saw that.
Brave Star, we watched the whole series. We just finished with it recently. It's pretty. It's really good. The color is very rich.
Yeah.
The movement is good because it's rotoscope. Just like Masters of the Universe. The writing is much better than Masters of the Universe.
Way better.
It is. Masters of the Universe is fun. Brave Star goes a step beyond that.
Yeah.
And can get very deep. I mean,
like when that boy died.
Yeah, you didn't think it was going to happen.
I didn't think they was going to kill that boy.
That is a heartbreaker, that episode. But the little kid dies of a drug overdose, and it's like, holy crap, they actually did this.
They killed that boy.
They killed him,
and they don't do that on cartoons. Yes,
yeah, hardly.
Mark is still
pestering Pam.
Well, actually, JR didn't go to the funeral, but of course the media was there, and JR saw Mark at the funeral. So he called Mark pretending to be Cliff and was saying how he was so happy. Pam was so happy to see him. So JR is trying to get Mark and Pam together.
Yeah, he's trying to interfere.
Yeah, so that's how that's going. Hey, Graphic Man. Yes, we're all doing well. Did you see
the one from Ramen Toys?
I ordered that.
Oh, you did?
I haven't gotten mine yet.
And back to that about David with my Mattel Brave Star
Mm-hmm.
collection. I'm as many things as I got there. I'm still missing 8 pieces. 8 pieces of,
Of Brave Star?
yeah,
Oh
8.
wow, that many?
That many.
I didn't think you were missing that many. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you're missing like 30, and then a 2-pack, right?
Well, there's two packs
Oh, okay. Well,
because it's like
you
there's
missing all
30.
that.
I do need 30, and then there's a
Mm-hmm.
Brave Star and 30 2-pack, a Tex Hex and 30 and Brave Star 2-pack, a Brave Star that comes with a shield instead of the Carium nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 versions of the Fort Carium,
Mm.
and then there's a black version of the Neutralaser.
See, you counting all that. I only think about
And
the
then
actual
there is a
figures.
carded Brave Star
Oh,
instead of a box.
oh.
So the only I'm half of that is like variants from like Montgomery Wards or whatever,
Yeah.
but the other half are legitimate parts of the collection, like 30.
Mm.
And the further up the scale you go, the more expensive everything gets. I'll never know if I'm going to get it or not.
And see, that's honestly what kind of turned
Yeah.
me off with the Masters of the
Excuse me.
Universe. Everything that I need now
Yeah.
is in that ultra expensive range, is in that
As
lottery
far as
range.
carded or boxed,
Yeah.
like Scare Glow
Yeah.
or a King Randor,
Yeah.
things like that.
That's all in the lottery range. So, I don't even try anymore, honestly. I mean, sometimes if you look, because I have had luck just going on eBay looking, maybe sometimes you'll see things on auction and nobody else bids, or somebody will have it, buy it now, and they don't do the price right. But I honestly haven't looked in more than a year. Now, sometime if I'm at a show and I see Masters of the Universe, I'll look.
Yes.
And normally the price is outrageous. So I don't even expect anymore to get anything else.
And they know they got you too at some of these shows, and they upscale the price on you so that it's even higher.
Yeah,
it's like, so, God, give me a break.
Yeah, now I'm at the point where I kind of don't even care anymore. I got a lot. I mean, I don't have every figure. I never thought I would get every figure. Yeah. But I got a lot. I got a lot of figures. I got a lot of vehicles, and I got a lot of play sets. And I'm happy with that. But that's the one thing about collecting, even comic books, toys, records, whatever. You get to a point where like you get all of the cheap ones first, and then now you're only left with the grails. Yeah. And in comics, it's usually the first appearance or the first one or some kind of key. In toys, it's usually like the rarest one, or the main character is usually like really expensive. But
that's why when people ask me if I go to the shows, comic or toy shows, what are you looking for? I'm like, nothing, because what I'm looking for, it's probably not here. So, or it's crazy expensive. And I think of it in terms of targets of opportunity now. If I spot something I know I would want and it's a reasonable price, that's what I'm looking for when I find it. Yeah. And I went through a lot of that. We went through that today at the Middle Georgia Comic Convention. Yeah, nostalgic. You should see what I picked up. I kept some great finds, but again, target of opportunity. The price was so reasonable I couldn't resist.
No, we have not gotten to that yet. David sold one.
Salem's Lot. Yeah, we saw Salem's Lot.
Yeah,
that was a good show. You're welcome, nostalgic. The friend variant copy, the friend Vandal copy. Yeah. William says he's thinking of getting McFarlane's Batman figures from the 70s cartoon. They look interesting. Yeah, we saw that. We just saw the Batmite. And Star Blazers, Gilgamesh says, is one of the shows that made him realize he always loved Japanese animation more than Western cartoons. Yeah. And I prefer those older shows than the modern animes, honestly. My flock said, oh, he's talking to Chance. And Robert says he always wanted to see Captain Harlock, but hated reading subtitles. Oh, the older ones? Yeah. The old Captain Harlock, space pirate. Robert says he enjoys Galaxy Express 9.99. I remember that, the space train. My very first anime I watched with Batman Dead End at SDCC when it first came out. Nostalgic wants to know if anybody recalls Thundar the Barbarian. I remember Thundar the Barbarian. And the moon was hit by an asteroid and it messed up the Earth. And Dorian is here and he says 66 Batman is boring to watch as an adult. You think so?
Oh, really?
You think so? A lot of people like it. And he wants to know, yeah, she said she was getting the Brave Star.
Yeah, I bought it. It hasn't, well, I haven't gotten mine yet. And maybe everybody else did, but I ain't got mine yet. But I did order it. Because it's one of those figures, you know, the original is really expensive. I'm not gonna pay that much. So I'll get the remake. Black Star. I never saw Black Star.
Wildly says he loves the Brave Star and Black Star shows. Yeah, I don't remember Black Star too well, quite frankly. It was like the same concept of two halves of a sword kind of thing. Yeah, a Saturday morning cartoon. And Robert says, speaking of records, he was thinking of picking up some audio adventures of Tom Baker Doctor Who from Big Finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this weird stuff available from old radio dramas out there, like the German Masters of the Universe and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Somebody was going to send that to us once.
What?
Remember?
No.
The German Masters of the Universe radio show.
Yeah.
But for some reason the customs returned it. They wouldn't let it come. Eric says he went to a comic store and had a big box of comics that he got for $90.
That's good.
And Nostalgic says, you guys going to the comic show in downtown Atlanta or just the good quarterly better not cooperate one at Marriott Century Center?
The one at Marriott is where we're going. I don't know about no comic book show in that. Not unless you're talking
corporate one at Marriott. Are you talking about the Atlanta Comic Con, the one that's next Sunday?
Yeah,
we're going to that.
Yeah, that's the one at the Marriott. We're not going to the one in February, the big show. Yeah. We're not going to that.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
Short ears or long ears? I don't know. Doesn't matter to me.
Short ears are more practical.
As long as the actor is good. Those big finished Doctor Who stores are really good.
Doctor Who, like, hold on. Everything is like right there.
I know. Right at arm's length.
The Mego Doctor Who, or Harbert, under Mego licensing, Doctor Who. And yes, all of that was produced. And those figures are very difficult to find. All of this is.
T. Stewart says he's looking for the Robotech Matchbox playset. And he has the money set aside for it if he ever finds one.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want it, you got to put that money aside like that flag.
My flock wants to know if we're going live when we're there. Well, we'll record it. And usually what we do is we go around and film it, and then we put it up either that evening or the next day.
Yeah, we don't film live while we're there because we don't have a camera for that. And then the phone never do, right? So we just film it, talk to people, and then edit out, like, taking pictures of the floor. And walking around. Yeah,
Doctor Who's ruined. It's been ruined for a few years.
Yeah, we've been seeing some
everybody's mad at that.
Yeah, we've been seeing some YouTube channels talking about it. We watch some of those channels that do reviews on TV shows and movies and stuff like that. And they've been talking about what they've done with it because I guess they did a Christmas special that wasn't that good.
BBC would rather virtue signal than write good stories anymore. So there you are. Robert has the 112 Robotech cockpit. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Rick and Roy.
But the stands are flimsy. Oh, that's scary because those were expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were. And they're talking like Doctor Who is ending in another season. They may as well, if they're not going to invest in decent writing, because like you look at my favorites are always John Pertwee and Tom Baker, the third and fourth Doctors. The special effects and the stuff that they did, God, it was cheesy. There was no budget. I guarantee there was no freaking budget with the special effects and costume designs and whatever. It was ridiculous. But the story and the acting was good. and you can live with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can just okay, it's like a stage production practically.
Yeah.
But the acting was really good and the stories made sense. And you know, if you can't do that, then what's the point?
They
Oh,
say
don't
that
start
every
that again.
they say that every year. And then they started doing that
Excuse me.
that Macy's thing. You remember one
Yeah.
year we actually went to Macy's
To look. It's just a couple of tables with a sign that says Toys R Us.
Yeah, and then they got the park bench with Jeffrey and David took a picture with that.
It's
I
pitiful.
keep saying Disney is
It's where
where
shows go to. It's where shows go to get executed. Yeah, Robert Sticks with the
Dr.
old Doctor
Baker
Who,
and,
Baker,
and
Eccleston,
uh,
and Tennant.
Tennant. Oh,
Okay.
going to the comics and audio better
Uh
stories.
huh. And David saw Echo. He said it was all right.
Okay, I've been hearing stuff about that. I
Yeah.
haven't seen any commentary on it yet, but a lot of people has been talking about that. Isn't that the one we saw and it has Daredevil in it?
Yeah.
And the girl was fighting with Daredevil.
And the fights look ridiculous. It's like the punches are a mile away. Are they hitting each other with shockwaves?
we saw one of the commentaries and they were showing the fight scene
frame by frame, and the punches are like coming like they're like 6-8 inches away from each other, but people are acting like they're knocked out. It's concussion punches. They're throwing punches at the speed of sound, and you get knocked back by the shockwave. That must be it.
Charm in the early season.
Yeah, there's a charm to it. You could say that.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a passport in the spring so I can visit Toys R Us in Windsor.
Oh, in Canada, you know they've done away with the adult collector section and they've replaced it with media. They put vinyl records and DVDs in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, I don't know what the French connection is.
With Popeye Doyle?
No.
They're gonna edit the French connection. That's offensive. There's no Frenchman in it. How dare you?
The fighting is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, isn't the Echo Girl deaf or something?
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be deaf.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna say we were gonna talk about Reacher. Yeah, we were watching Reacher. Oh, that guy played Aquaman in Smallville, I think. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know about
I
that.
never saw Smallville. But the one thing about it this season is they're making him a little more personable.
Yeah, and there's a team. It doesn't feel the same at all.
It's good.
The flow's not as good as the first season. The first season was better.
Well, we only like 2 episodes in now.
First season was better.
Now, the one thing that does get me is they are making him a lot more personable.
Uh-huh.
Like before, he was like a mystery. Who is this guy? Where is he coming from?
Knowing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And now they got this little girl that he's all smitten with, and he's smiling and looking at her all weird.
You know what it makes me think of?
Stuff.
What America's Got Talent? Puddles the Clown. You remember Puddles?
Yeah, I remember Puddles.
And because he looks all dopey, but then he sings.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then he doesn't talk again. And they were trying to get him to talk on the panel, and Simon says, "No, leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make him break character, because that sort of thing, it sticks."
Uh-huh.
And yeah, if you got something that sticks, why toy around with it? Not knowing about him made it interesting.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell us everything. I don't want to know.
Oh, she's really deaf. Okay. And has one leg. Oh, she got one leg.
How's she doing flips and kicks?
Well, you know, it's CGI. And then you can do some stuff with that prosthetic now. If you got good training.
Yeah.
I think about death action.
Family Guy. I haven't seen Family Guy in years and years.
I never watched Family Guy.
Yeah. It can get weird.
How about the gender neutral? They got a toy out
California,
like that?
California, it's a law now.
Oh, really?
You have to have a neutral section.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know what that means. They can't figure it out either. The toy retailers are like, "What the hell do you want us to do? What is this?" But yeah, because California.
Well, I mean, you can put blocks. You know, like how when you got the 2-year-old and they got the little blocks, and then Then they got that ball that go up and
Yeah.
down like this, and then the round things.
That's why they
That's
call it.
neutral.
That's why they call it California. California, because you
Oh
don't
yeah.
know what the hell's going on out there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
saw
out of
something the
sight is
other
here.
day. It's a commercial about obesity, and it said inclusive obesity.
What does
I
that
didn't
mean?
understand what that meant
Yeah.
because I don't think obesity discriminate.
Uh-huh.
I think as long as you eat, you could, you overeat, you could be obese.
Yes.
I don't think it matters your age, race,
Yeah.
sex, religion.
Are they trying to imply that certain people are more susceptible to being obese? Because I see all kind of obese people. I don't
Yeah,
know what the hell you're talking
you
about.
know,
Go watch my 600-pound life
yeah, all
and
kind of people
get
on
back
that
to me.
show.
Yeah.
Hmm I don't know what that means because I saw
Yeah.
that. I'm sitting there thinking, what the heck is obesity inclusivity? I think it's how they put it, or inclusive obesity. Somehow they said it
Something
on that
stupid.
stupid commercial, and I'm sitting there like, what does that even mean? Sometimes nowadays when they say something or they got a commercial, they need to put the definition on there, or just say this means
Or we
blah
think
blah blah
it
blah blah,
means this.
or we want you to believe it means blah 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 blah.
Okay.
After defeating Skeletor, he retired to a trailer park in Florida where he enjoys Keystone Light and rolling up his own smokes.
Oh, on the show, I guess.
Oh,
My flock says, I'm in California. I don't understand anything they think or do except for weed. Well, the thing, and keep in mind, it's the government. It's the
Seinfeld is great.
yeah, it's the government making those choices, not the people.
Biggie bags. Those Wendy's biggie bags will put it on you, and it don't matter who eats it, what your race or age, or, you know.
Yeah.
In California, I'm guessing all gray. Who knows? Sometimes I wish I saw a camper telling Jason, I'm gender neutral. I'm gender neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He don't care.
hmm
They want people to more accepting of obese people. Well, you can't force people to accept anything.
No.
If you try, you end up with a mess, but whatever.
I want to reclassify obesity so that they can say it's not a person's fault for eating too much. Well, it's a disease now.
Yeah,
It's been a disease for a couple of years.
It ain't a disease.
Well, the doctor says it's a disease.
Yeah, how much was that doctor paid?
I don't know.
Don't even get me started.
Supersize Me. That was a movie.
McDonald's.
Yeah, the McDonald's.
Well, it was a movie too, but yeah, it was.
You can
McDonald's
eat one of everything from the buffet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
One tray.
I don't know what that means, but I bet you nobody's going to explain it to you. Watch The View and ask them to explain
No, don't watch The View. Just erase that from your memory.
Or CNN or any of them news shows and see if they explain it to you.
They ain't gonna explain nothing to you.
No, you don't think so? Anyway, let's get back to talking about
good
things.
Hand me the books.
Oh yeah, David gonna brag and
today?
show you his
No,
book.
I'm not bragging.
Okay. David's not bragging, but
If anybody
he's gonna show you his.
if anybody wants to see,
now we're gonna do this. If anybody wants to see,
because you don't have to look. I'm not gonna force anybody.
It's called toy addiction. I need help. You know, if you got a disease called toy addiction, you might can.
Hey, can I get a check?
That's what I was gonna say. You might can apply for disability.
Yeah.
I got an addiction to toys, comics, and records.
And I need the taxpayers to fund it for me because I can't help myself.
Yes, it's an addiction.
Yes, I need.
And then I get the shakes. The Whale movie with Brendan Fraser did Obese Guy.
We didn't see it.
That was a good movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard it and I've seen it advertised. I can make up terms and words too. Yeah, everybody can. Have you seen those Mars toy figures? They look good.
I think I have seen those. I think I have. They're bootlegs though, aren't they?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they're
I'll look for
bootlegs.
them on eBay.
Yeah. Super
The,
Size Me deal started after they did Jurassic Park. Okay.
oh, yeah.
And he's addicted to yeah, Plastic Crack. That's that whole thing with Justice Curry.
Yeah,
He does
he
that
was in
that
that.
special, yeah. And William says he might be entitled to compensation. Yeah, you might be entitled to
You
taxpayer
might be.
money.
I have sickle cell. That's a disease.
Yes,
That's an actual
that's an
disease.
actual physical problem.
Okay,
That's a
David's
disease.
going to show you his books
Well,
now.
you don't have to see him.
Come on. You don't want to play this game for an hour.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, some of my pickups, and this was actually given to me, but evidently this is a pretty tough book to find, that Heathcliff, and it's a newsstand.
And it's a newsstand.
It's a newsstand. Oh, give it back.
No.
I want to hold it. I'm just being stupid.
Yeah.
Plop number 3. And I do have a
You
bunch.
gotta hold it up so people
yeah.
can see.
I'm just trying to keep the glare off.
You no glare.
I do
when
have
you get it close.
I do have a bunch of plops, but you notice the condition. That's the important bit. Is it's really hard to find these in any kind of halfway decent condition. Usually plop comics look like absolute crap.
Yeah, giggle addict.
Yeah. Robotics number 1. Bet you didn't know that they had a robotics comic book, did you?
No.
Because they made comic books of everything back in that time period.
Mm-hmm.
So robotics, who remembers that commercial? You create them, you control them.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkeye number 1.
Oh, move that out the way.
Hawkeye number 1.
That's the Marvel Hawkeye. He
Yes.
wasn't dressed like that in the movie.
No, he was. This is the original outfit. No, he wasn't dressed
he
like.
He was dressed in normal clothes.
With a big H on his forehead and everything, looking all.
Yeah,
goofy.
he had on normal clothes.
Excuse me.
Now YouTube iceberg videos.
Weird, creepy murders unsolved.
Yeah, I like those kind of videos. Go ahead.
Oh, what's Nostalgic saying? He needs the Heathcliff book. He collects the Marvel 25th anniversary border covers.
Oh, okay.
I was shocked because, like I said, somebody gave me this. I was shocked at how expensive this one is.
Mm.
You know, I was like, you got to be kidding me. We're moving up the line here.
I got Care Bears. Go ahead.
Yeah. Archie's Laugh Out number 1. Laugh Out number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a minor key because it's the first time the whole gang comes together, I guess. Is my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
How are we doing? Yeah, 20. Yeah, Care Bears. That's a tough one too. The Care Bears 25th anniversary border. I have a bunch of those too. The borders.
Yeah.
The Web of Spider-Man one is the laziest one.
Oh yeah.
You know the Web of Spider-Man one, right? Right, Chance?
I don't know who came first.
All it is a circle with the Spider-Man logo in it. It's like, and everybody else did actual art. And Web of Spider-Man decided to just take shortcuts. Okay, here we go. Flash Comics number 69.
Okay.
That looks nice. What? Are you done? You don't want to see that? She got a stack like this, so I don't know what she's talking about.
I mean, you don't need to hold it up for an hour.
Heathcliff came before Garfield.
Oh, did he?
I think. Yeah, Webb's cover. Nostalgic confirms.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostly Weird Stories.
That's a nice one. I like that one.
This is an LB Cole.
Yeah, that's
Ghostly
a nice
Weird
one.
Stories. The Homecoming.
Do you have Twilight Zone? I do.
Yeah, she does.
I have some.
Twilight Zone and what is that one?
Dark
Thriller.
Oh yeah, Thriller.
Yeah.
I have
Boris Karloff on the
Mhm.
cover. Yeah. The first I gave you the issue number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Thriller. He's a photo cover. What's that? Oh,
Taste in comics.
yeah.
He picks good comic covers and stories. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here we go. Journey into Mystery 90. Journey into Mystery 90. Well, all the LB Cole.
Yeah, LB Cole too rich for my blood.
She didn't
Shoot.
see it.
I saw it. I just didn't want to pay for it.
Journey 94.
Mm-hmm. I have some modern Elvira.
Journey 96. It's the first appearance of Merlin.
Mm.
Yeah. Merlin.
Merlin in comics.
In comics, yeah. And Journey 97.
Mm.
But these are like really clean copies. I'm still going to work on them, clean and press them a little bit, but I don't have to do too much. They're real nice examples.
Is it
the Journey into Mysteries, yeah.
Is it beauty? King Kirby.
Yeah.
I like LPH's horror comics.
Horror comics
Thank
are great.
you. Yeah, horror comics are great.
Yeah.
I just like covers and I read the stories.
Yeah.
And sometimes the stories match the cover. A lot of times they don't. But still, it's fun to collect and just look at the covers.
And we read the romance novels together.
Yay!
Oh, who's here? Oh, Stone Sour made a donation. Thank you. Who's the next live guest on the channel?
I don't know.
don't know.
We talked about somebody today. I don't know. You know, if people want to see, but we talked. We talked about getting somebody today, a certain person. So we'll talk to the person, see if they're interested.
Because we reach out to people here and there, but sometimes they don't want to be bothered. You know,
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And I know we're gonna have Chance on again.
Yeah, he'll be on again.
But we want to try and get somebody else before that, so it won't be like back to back. You know, kind of spread it out and give some diversity.
Don't say that word. It's a dirty word now.
Do you have any Sergeant Rock?
Yeah.
I got a lot. My favorite story is a German with the iron hand and almost kills him. Yeah, I got a ton of Sergeant Rock. I got a lot of Sergeant Rock. I like him. Daniel Steele.
What's wrong with you? No, we don't have any Daniel Steele. But the romance comics are hilarious.
The covers are.
The covers are a lot of fun. And she got a bunch of romance comics today. But when we put up and it should go up tomorrow, the video with the of the convention we went to today, and we show all of our pickups at the end of it, so you won't miss anything.
Yeah.
Good girl yeah, David.
I don't do good girl comics. David doesn't either.
No. I mean, I have a couple that you might consider that way, like the Alien Worlds covers. Might have a little bit of good girl art. I don't specifically target it, but I do appreciate it, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like Golden Age stuff. Good girl art covers, and some of the Archie stuff can be considered good girl too. But I'm a fan of the Archie anyway.
Who would be a good Sergeant Rock?
A modern actor? I don't know. Bruce Willis might have went, but he's not in any condition anymore.
Well, and then also, even if he was in good condition, he's too old now. You would need a younger person.
Well, probably somebody in his 40s at least.
That old, you think? Not in his 30s?
I don't know.
Hey, I got the Galoob Star Trek for a song.
DC Ohen DMD. But and that was on our list of 80s figures. The Galoob Star Trek is still pretty affordable. Yeah.
And
I if I could find it a whole set of them for a good price, I'd probably jump on it too.
Have the Hasbro G.I. Joe figure set, very cool. I don't know who would be a good Sergeant Rock, because
then Remco did Sergeant Rock action figures in the 80s also, but those can be expensive.
Really, I never seen Sergeant Rock action figures. I enjoyed the Batman Venom series. Batman on Drugs was really interesting. Really good covers too.
Yeah,
Michael
Michael
Rooker and
Rooker as Sergeant Rock.
that's the guy that played Meryl, and he played Yandu.
Oh yeah, okay,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Maybe Daryl will be the guy that plays Daryl.
No,
You don't think so?
no, too small.
Yeah.
Yep, Thundercats.
Thank you.
Thundercats was a fun show. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good
It was
show.
well written. It had good motion, good color,
Mm-hmm.
um, decent stories. And when you're older and you watch the show and you pick out the nuances of it,
Mm-hmm.
like that, they really kind of triggered everything. It was an accidental arrival, but they really set everything off. They're the ones that started it with that jumped off Mumra in the first place.
Yeah, but they weren't bothering anybody. They weren't coming in there to tear up.
Yeah, but you remember also that Mumra was a slave.
Yeah,
He
Mumra
had no
was.
choice but to pursue them once he was
Yeah.
awakened.
He wanted to be left alone. That's all
Really?
he ever
Yeah.
wanted to do was be left alone.
Yeah, and the ancient spirits of evil will torment him.
Yeah.
There's that one episode even where Mumra is crying because they're mad at him and they won't let him back in the pyramid, and he was in tears. And it's like, golly, there's a whole different nuance to Mumra there.
The one thing that got on my nerves about Lionel, and you saw it a lot in the second season, the sword does everything. And like when
he
they
never remembers.
Yeah, but like when they went back to planet Thundar, wasn't it Thundar? Yeah, wherever. And it had all of those pieces.
Thundaria.
Yeah, and they
Thundaria.
had all of those trinkets. All he had to do is tell the sword to gather the pieces. And the sword would have gathered the pieces instead of constantly going
back. It magnetizes them.
Yeah. Instead of constantly going back looking for pieces and putting yourself and your crew in danger. Just hold up the sword, tell it to gather up all of the pieces and everything. But then, I know you wouldn't have had a show.
Robert wants to know if Mumra had a pooch. Yeah, Mamut.
Yeah, Mamut.
And he used to like snuggle up on him and tell him he loved him and stuff. It was hilarious. And DC says picked up a superpowers Batmobile, pretty minty box and instructions. Do you guys collect Kenner superpowers? I had the complete boxed and carded superpowers as part of the collection that was stolen.
I found the new McFarlane superpowers at Walmart for $5
a piece. Yeah,
a piece. I got the Batwing and Superman's Supermobile.
Yeah.
So those two were there for $5. That'd be cool if Thundercats. Mondo did that, but now their quality is getting so bad.
Has gotten bad and they're getting more expensive.
First encounter with Mumra was pretty scary. I don't remember that.
Yeah, and they're tearing up trees and stuff. That was when he was young and dumb.
Yeah. My uncle worked for Mattel before
they left LA.
Oh. He worked in the toy department, so like Testers, He-Man and more.
That's interesting.
That's good. That one guy, that Spectre or whatever he is online, he was I think a marketing guy for Mattel, and he does all those videos. I can't think of what his name was. Thundercats. I don't think they should do a Thundercats live
they'll
action.
ruin it. They've been talking about that for years.
Yeah.
I even heard rumors that David Carradine was going to get cast as like Tigra, and this is back in the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think that would, because now it would have to be CGI. They would wear it out with the CGI.
Yeah.
And
they wear everything out with the CGI now. It's like watching a video game run through when you're looking at it. You're like, oh, you're not even trying. That's Jurassic Park.
Oh wow, 5 vehicles. That's good. Go ahead.
Jurassic Park's CGI from the 90s holds up better than some of the stuff that's coming out now. It doesn't make sense.
But I don't understand, if it's so much CGI, why does it cost so much to make the movies?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm not collecting the McFarlane CGI superpowers, but when I saw those vehicles for $5, I just had to get them.
Sure.
But I do want some of the McFarlane DC stuff. They had some characters like Etrigan is coming out. They had Dead Man already, and they got a couple of other characters that I am interested in. So I'll cherry
Yeah.
pick some of those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Robert.
it's
Third Earth is our Earth, and
mm-hmm.
the one tie-in that explains that is the episode with Excalibur, because Mum-Ra tricks the Lady of the Lake into thinking he's King Arthur.
Yeah,
And gets Excalibur, and that episode is hilarious when he comes to the cat's lair to introduce himself and pretends to be offended by Lion-O and slaps him in the face. And it's like, oh my god,
that was so
that
funny.
was funny.
And then the two swords started fighting each other.
Yeah. Johnny says, which would you want most, collection you used to have or what you have now? Well, probably the collection I used to have, because the collection I used to have includes most of what I have now, plus what I probably will never be able to afford again.
Oh wow!
You know, stuff I can't get because when I bought it, it was next to nothing. When I used to have the complete LJN. Since we're on the subject, carded and boxed the entire LJN Thundercats line. But when I bought them, I paid like $5 a piece for them.
Yeah.
You know, how much are they now? you can't do it. Or like my carded Star Wars figures, which I had all the American stuff. I didn't have the foreign stuff, but I had all the American stuff, all the Power of the Force. I was buying the Power of the Force carded and Return of the Jedi carded figures from KV toy stores for like $2 and $3 for $1.
Wow.
You know, you can't replace them now. How much is that? When I bought my original 12 back carded, unpunched carded Star Wars figures, they were less than $100 a piece.
Oh wow!
At that time in the early 90s. You know, how much is a unpunched carded Farm Boy Luke now? And you know what I mean. If you're into Star Wars, you know what I mean by Farm Boy. You can't do it. It's crazy.
No, David, I didn't get the Cat's Lair. I tried several times. I literally tried about 5 times, and I could never get.
There was some problem with the
I could never get the order to go through.
Yeah.
So I took it as a sign, and I just gave up. So no, I didn't get that. I got that. No, I didn't. That was the last thing that came out. I didn't get it. I've seen parts of Cats. Please, no CGI Thundercats. Yeah, Spectre Creative has recently admitted he was wrong about Masters at retail. He said he misinterpreted the memo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the guy that worked for Mattel.
Yeah.
And so he does and talks about the behind the scenes goings on with them when he was there and all that. Nobody wants. Yeah.
No, actually, I mean, and Good Shot says Spectre Creative Scott Toy Guru.
Yeah, that's the guy. Creative, whatever his name is.
And My Flock says CGI is out of control. Love practical effects. Yeah, you can't beat the digital, not digital, but you can't beat the squibs in RoboCop when they're doing the shooting.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
I mean, but
CGI squibs look like crap.
But I mean, they used to build the sets, and then they used to put makeup and, you know, I mean, yes, if some of the characters had padding, they had suits on, but they did the makeup and all of that stuff.
They made an effort.
Yeah, or they found somebody that looked the part.
Look at Space 1999 and the effort that they went through. They built an entire complex so that you could walk through hallways and into rooms and all this other stuff. Is a lot of effort.
Yeah. Plus feels like a block.
Excuse me. And Blind Robot says he got a screenshot from a stream of someone asking Mondo about 1/6 Thundercats. Replied, hopefully mid-24. Don't know if it's true.
No, wow.
Well, remember, Funko owns them now.
Yeah, so Funko has that license. So Mondo has that license.
Which is why you've been seeing them cranking out more and more 6-scale figures than ever.
Yeah, yeah, that's already out. Yeah. I just got to find it.
And Spectre, and that's another one she likes, Gilgamesh's Spectre.
Yeah, I have the Dead Man is the only one, and the Spectre is what the Spectre, Etrigan, and something else I saw that I want to get, but it's just a handful. Yeah, I don't like all of them.
Thing, and she has.
I got the Swamp Thing. Mm-hmm. So it's just a handful.
Yeah.
The Multiverse, Wonder Woman, McFarlane is taller than Batman and Superman.
It's the heels. Does she have big heels?
Pretty much all of the toy heels. Oh, probably around $100. Wow, super affordable and fun
the original. Yeah, that's on our '90s affordable toys video. Is the classic Toy Biz figures that you would see in KB in the early part of the '90s: the Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, the other Marvel character figures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're cheaper than the modern counterparts.
Wow. Robert is asking if that Chewbacca bandolier is easy to put on. He wants to put it on the Hot Toys Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's just a shoulder strap. It just, you raise one arm up and just put it on and off. It's pretty simple.
Have you seen the Funko poster size Wizard of Oz Funko Dorothy and Toto? Looks really nice around. See?
No.
I hung mine on the wall.
I don't think I've seen that.
No, I haven't seen that. I took a chance and watched Wonka, and it was really charming, just like the original. I heard that was supposed to be like a prequel or something.
We haven't seen it, though.
No, I never seen the original.
Oh, yeah, Robert. Yeah, Big Chief Studios is talking about the cloning from Big Chief. Big Chief apparently went bankrupt.
Oh, that's why they never came out with the stuff. Because weren't you supposed to get some Doctor Who figures or something from there?
Yeah, it was supposed to be the Tom Baker 1/6 scale, and it never happened.
Yeah, emotions. Because you see that a lot with modern actors, and mainly female ones. No emotion.
Yeah.
No facial expressions to kind of tell you.
They just read the lines.
What they're supposed to feel or think, or no, it's just a blank stare, no facial expression. It's like their face is full of Botox, so nothing moves but their eyes, and that's it. And then their mouth barely moves just to get the words out.
Yeah.
So
they have two emotions: bland and outraged. Basically. And David says he got the Mondo Omega Red, but he has loose hip joints and does Van Damme splits.
Oh, wow.
Really? And Robert wants to see the new Beverly Hills Cop movie with Axel Foley. Is he really going to do it?
Is he going to do that?
Don't do that. Don't,
Wow.
We didn't need a sequel to Coming to America either. Coming to America is a classic.
The first Beverly Hills Cop was good.
Yeah, the sequel to Coming to America, if I never see it again, I won't care.
It wasn't horrible.
It wasn't good.
But it wasn't necessary.
No.
I'll just say that. It wasn't horrible.
No.
But it wasn't necessary.
It did not capture the charm of the original.
No. But I think Wesley Snipes did a good job.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes was funny.
Yeah.
But, still, it's not worth it. And that's the true measure of a film.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch a film and you honestly tell yourself, could I ever watch this? If I never saw this again, would I care? And if the answer is no, it wasn't really very good. I don't care if you like, and that's people give it excuses. They say, it was all right. Was it? Would you watch it again tomorrow? Because if Terminator came on, I could watch it. You know what I mean? If Soylent Green came on tomorrow, I could watch it. If Coming to America came on tomorrow, I could watch it. Last Dragon, I could watch that. Yeah, that's a cool movie. Sure. Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. That's a fun movie. That's a cool movie.
Yeah.
Citizen Kane. If it came on, I could sit there and watch it. But there's a ton of other films, or like Iron Man, the first Iron Man film, I could watch it. Iron Man 3, if I never saw it again, I don't care. You see what I mean? If you could sit there and say, if I never see it again, I don't give a damn, then it wasn't good. So don't say that it was okay. I just seriously, it's the truth.
No, we didn't see the trailer because we don't have Netflix.
No Netflix. And DC said he's feeling love for Anderson's UFO TV show series. Did they make figures for that series? No, they did not make action figures for that series. I think in the modern era,
8
originally he's making fun.
Oh,
I think because there's only originally 3, right? But I think they might have made in the last couple of years a figure of the girl on the space station, the communications officer with the purple hair. But originally they made like dinky vehicles, dinky toys, made vehicles and stuff like that. But there's not very much in the way of merchandise for the original, and it's UFO. It's not UFO. It's actually UFO is the name of the show.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but I don't think they knew what they wanted to do with it because they kept kind of spinning off in different directions with it and not staying true to the original format. I think that Jerry Anderson wasn't sure what they wanted to do, but it's still a decent enough show.
Robert wants somebody else to pick up that license.
Doctor Who, James Bond, and Space 1999. You'll never see Space 1999 again. The family won't allow it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because all they'll do is destroy it.
Because when 1999 came around, they offered some studio was offering a fortune for rights to it to make a Space 1999 film, and the Jerry Anderson's family was like, forget it, you're not doing it.
Yeah, because then the captain will be a woman and all kinds of
in
stuff.
A wheelchair,
and she'll be all like annoying and bossy, and they'll start fighting. Movies that I can watch over and over again is Star Trek
4, huh? Star Trek 4. Well, I thought maybe you were talking about Police Academy because it had 8 movies.
I never saw Ghost Dad.
Ghost Dad?
Yes, that's with Eddie Murphy.
No, I think that's.
I think that's Eddie Murphy.
It's not Eddie Murphy. Ghost Dad is not Eddie Murphy. It's Bill Cosby.
Well, I think they redid it then.
I think I saw it once. I don't even remember.
I know I never saw it.
It's not a memorable film at all. He did better television than he did films. The films that Bill Cosby did weren't that great.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I barely remember it. If I never saw it again, I wouldn't.
That had Eddie Murphy.
If I never saw it again, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But that's my criteria. If it's a film I could watch over and over again, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I could watch that again. Brilliant Western. Leonard Part. Yeah, that's another Bill Cosby film. It's pretty bad. And Hotel California too. Wasn't he in Hotel California?
Was that a movie?
Yes, which was okay. Was it? Oh, is it Hotel California?
I don't know.
I think that's the name of it. And he's in it with Alan Alda, and I want to say
I think he's
Richard Pryor is in it.
I think he's like blind in one eye. I can watch that Richard Pryor and Gene when they were in jail.
Gene Wilder.
Stir Crazy.
Stir Crazy was good.
I can watch that again.
I can watch that again. And Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles was good. And the Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And what happened on the way to the forum?
Oh, Once Upon a Time on the Way to the Forum. Is that right? Or from that's a good one.
Yeah. Producers.
That's a good one. The Producers is both versions. Both versions of The Producers were good because there's a remake from the early 2000s, but they actually stayed really true to the story, to the original story. So it was still pretty fun.
I get that, Gilgamesh, because there's some movies that even though I don't want to see it a million times.
Yeah.
But then there's others that I can watch over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And like we got a lot of DVDs, but some of them, it's like, yeah, I do like that movie, I really do, but I don't want to see it. Maybe if the apocalypse come and the internet goes out, so you can't stream anything anymore, then I'll watch it. But just to say, oh, let's watch a movie, let's put in this thing, no.
Yeah.
You know
Display name says Cosby never got an action figure. Yes, he did.
why you have it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, David.
Uh huh. Well, it's not technically an action figure, but yes, two of them vintage actually. Favorite movie was the Devil and Max Devlin Disney movie. I don't remember that one actually.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what they're
Yeah.
asking here. I don't think I've seen it.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie with Bill Cosby in it.
Uh huh. Logan's Run. Logan's Run, I could watch again. That was well done. The film,
Yeah.
the TV show, but
the TV show,
the movie,
stupid.
the movie was good.
Yeah.
And James Bond action figure line. That's something I've not. The original Gilbert James Bond action figure, the figurines from Goldfinger and stuff, from the '60s, are affordable, and they also made like a 12-inch kind of a doll of Sean Connery and Odd Job.
Mm-hmm.
Those are expensive, but the small figures that come carded in the vehicle sets and stuff are pretty cheap. Probably not, David, because they're trying to cancel it because
Bill
of Cosby. But the Fat Albert stuff is the Fat Albert. The show is classic, absolutely classic.
If they did Funko Pops, I would get it.
Oh yeah,
of the whole.
But
game.
I have both. You can see them right there. That there is the complete carded Tedro 1982 Fat Albert action figure series, where I'm pointing right now. And then also there is, you can't see it because it's behind this display right here, is the Fat Albert Chem Toy 1973 figure series. Oh, favorite Death Wish?
Mm-hmm.
Probably the first one.
That's the one. Oh, you only get one wish or something?
No, that's Wishmaster.
Oh, Wishmaster.
You're thinking, then you get 3 wishes.
3 wishes.
But
oh, Death Wishes with that guy, Charles Bronson. We saw that.
There were 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The remake, they did a remake with a chick.
Oh.
But the 4 of them, and they're okay. The third one I thought got kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth one was a lot better, but the first one, of course, I think is the best one. Johnny wants to see the Cosby figure. All right, let's see. See, I got
those Charles Bronson movies are pretty good. We watch those
was,
often.
Charles Bronson was a decent actor. But
yeah,
I'll pull those out real quick. So this is the only Bill Cosby, because remember he played himself on Fat Albert.
Yeah, he was Bill and his brother.
Yes. So that is the Tedro 1982 carded Bill Cosby figurine. Basically, it's not actually an action figure. And then this is, and you see that they're very similar, except that the Chem Toy is bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a half an inch taller, and he's really even in the same pose. They just kind of copied it. Tedro. This is the Chem Toy from 1973, and they were sold loose in countertop display boxes, but there are rare ones that you can find carded, and the carded ones are of a better paint quality, because this is how they were in the box. It looks like he's all played with. He's not. This is how they were painted in Hong Kong. They were real cheap with it. I mean, this is probably giving me lead poisoning right now. But the carded figures, the color really pops. And I can show you an example with Fat Albert, because I actually have a carded Fat Albert. So I'll show you the difference between the loose and carded.
10 to Midnight. That sounds familiar. I think we saw that. We saw a bunch because on Tubi is a bunch of Charles Bronson movies. 10 to Midnight. Go ahead.
This is the and again, this is not Tedro. This is Chemtoy, 1973 Chemtoy. This is the one that was sold loose in the display box, and then that's the carded example. And you can see that they put a lot more effort into the paint on the carded ones. Carded figures from this series are very, very rare.
Yeah.
But the loose ones you can find.
Yeah, we saw 10 to Midnight.
Okay.
We saw that movie.
Mr. Majestic was fun.
Is the name was it that's the one where he was the
farmer?
The farmer?
Yeah.
That one was good.
He just wanted to pick his damn melons and they wouldn't leave him alone.
I would love to have the Jefferson figure. Did they even make Jefferson's figure? I know they did Florence.
Florence Henderson
Mm-hmm.
was made. It's a 15-inch doll, and it was sold by Shindana Toys in 1976, I want to say. And it comes in a big, tall pink box. Mm-hmm. And it says right on it, it says her real name as Florence from the Jeffersons.
Circuit City was open 15 years ago. I remember them, and I remember them closing, but it seemed like it was a long time ago, like longer than that. Didn't Fat Albert have a red shirt? Yeah, it was red.
Mr. Majestic is good.
Yeah,
good Bronson, Majestic Melons.
Death Hunt
is really good. And also, he was in the original Mechanic. The Mechanic is a good one, where he was the assassin. Charles Bronson.
Mm-hmm.
He was in some decent films. He was in Once Upon a Time in the West too, which is like one of the top tier spaghetti westerns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I own Cinescope.
Prince of the original Star Wars before it was Episode 4 in Empire. Okay. Interesting. And House of Wax with Vincent Price, Raccoon Eye says. Vincent Price was in a lot of stuff. Vincent Price was probably in more comedies than he was horror or suspense stuff.
I like the one where he was the mortician and him and his wife kept fighting.
Peter Lorre?
I cannot remember the name of that one, but the banter between him and his wife was hilarious. I can't remember the name of it though, but it was good.
Johnny, it's weird. Johnny says Barnum and Bailey coming back without animals, ? They had already gotten rid of all their animal acts. Because when I was still working with Juvenile Justice Authority in Kansas, and this is more than 10 years ago, we used to do field trips, and I've probably seen like 50 circuses, because a lot of stuff comes to Kansas. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
To Topeka. The Topeka Expo Center is jumping off with wrestling shows and circuses and all kinds of stuff going on there. But I used to bring groups to the circus, and Barnum and Bailey was through there a few times. They did not have animal acts even then, like 15 years ago or whatever. But they were so bogged down with lawsuits from PETA that they ended up going bankrupt, even though they had gotten rid of all their animals even then. So I don't know if they're coming back or not.
I saw them when I was a kid, but they still had animals then. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it, but yeah, them animals, man, they need to just leave them in the wild.
Yeah, well.
In red, I never saw that.
Bruce Willis, he was decent.
Yeah. And then, well, how is he? I haven't heard anything about him.
I think I heard that he's like lost his ability of speech at this point.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he's not doing well at all. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, because he was a decent actor. I mean, some of the stuff he was in was kind of weird, but he was, all in all, he was pretty decent.
Yeah, because he'd take a lot of stuff, but and some things you'd watch it and you're like, what are you doing? But there was other parts that he had that were really well, and of course, there's always Die Hard.
I never seen the Die Hard.
The series is pretty well done, actually. It's fun.
I've seen some, but I think he was a good action actor.
Uh-huh.
You know, some people can play an action role really good. Some people can't.
Display says the last Barnum show they saw was when they had the unicorn. That's like in the 80s. And that was like a goat, wasn't it? With one horn. Something stupid.
But they
I,
like kind of pasted on or glued on,
no,
like strapped it on.
it had like one horn and it's like in the middle of its head. And they got accused of like surgically altering it or something.
Oh, are
and,
you serious?
Yeah, I don't know if that's even true or not, but I think it was like a goat.
Oh, cows, horses, possums, bears, etc.
Yeah, well, that's New York.
That says North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina? I thought it said NY for some reason.
I don't know why. Yeah, it's a C.
I saw it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend says Tears of the Sun, also a good Bruce Willis movie. Yeah, he's got a long film career.
Yeah, it's just strange what happened to me. Less losses of what ability to understand
or discern language.
Discern language. And then the last thing I heard, he had like dementia or Alzheimer's or something. It developed into that.
Yeah.
And now he can't talk.
Yeah, that's a shame. What a way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just slowly losing your marbles.
Deteriorating.
And Display says it was a goat, and the rumor was that it was glued. Okay. Yeah. I knew it was a goat. And DC said, did Mattel make the Outer Space Men? They should reissue or remain that line. Color Forms made the Outer Space Men.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was prior to Major Matt Mason. The Major Matt. And people associate the two because both of them both series are bendy figures. Outer Space Men are very rare to find even loose. The originals. Mm-hmm. And I know that a convention, I think it was 2012, had reissues of them on the card. And even those can be expensive. But yeah, I want to say it was Color Forms made the Outer Space Men. And of course, Mattel made Major Matt Mason. I never had any Outer Space Men. I did have a full line of Major Matt Mason, though.
What's your collecting goals for 2024?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have some sets I would like to complete. There's a few things I've got that I'm like that close, but you know, it's so hard to find. It's so hard to find them, especially in the condition that I'm looking for, which is usually mint in the box or mint in the package, something like that. I try, but I have a few things that I'm a hair away from finishing. If I can find them, they're like, some of them are really, really rare, but it even though they're rare, they're not necessarily valuable. Yeah. Like the Fisher Price stick puppets. I have and I can grab one of these here to show you what I'm talking about. These aren't worth a fortune. They're really not. And this is 1979, and they're action figures from the Muppet Show, made by Fisher Price. And it says Gonzo stick puppet. There aren't many of them. There's like 7 of them in the set. I have 6. I'm missing. I'm missing Rolf. But the condition you see this card in, you're not going to find it in this condition. Every time you see one on the card, it looks like it's been in the dryer for like 3 hours. They're just torn to shreds. They're never in decent shape. But I'm missing 2 pieces actually because there's also a 4-pack. Oh, okay. And that's always wrecked too. But if I can find Rolf and the 4-pack in this kind of shape, that would be amazing. But I mean, this is probably like $30. Even like this. They're not expensive, even though they're from '79 and they're the only examples of vintage Muppets action figures you can find. Period. Oh wow! But and there are, if you go on eBay right now, you can find a couple of Rolfs on the card. But like I said, they've been through the mill. They look like absolute junk. So things like that. Yeah, I'm still collecting Captain Planet figures. Goodness. I do have quite a bit. I got not all. I'm missing like just a few from Wave 1. I have no vehicles, no play sets. So yeah.
like I said earlier, I'm revamping my whole collecting um thing. So I might if I see more at shows. And now, I bought a lot of stuff off of eBay. I think now if I see something at a show, I might get it. I don't know. Because there are some sets that I won, and I'm gonna have to write it down and
Hmm.
see what's what. But yeah, I am collecting it. I kind of backed off. I'm not as aggressive in my collecting as I was before, but I'm trying to do something else. I know I'm cutting back on that new stuff, like the Super 7 stuff and some that's about the only new things I would buy is Super 7. And I'm cutting back on that. Now I might get that Toxic Crusader. If they come out with the whole gang, I'm gonna definitely get that. Because nobody else is coming out with Toxic Crusader.
Yeah.
The original is just too much.
Yeah, they're expensive.
They're very expensive. And even in the original, did they come out with the whole gang?
I don't remember,
I
honestly.
think it was just Toxie.
I never had the Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah,
So
I think it was just Toxie. So, you know, but yeah, I'm going in some different things. Opening MIB toys because
Machine Man is asking.
they,
No, I'll show you an example. Just real quick here. This is the Durham Toys Kung Fu Man. Durham Toys Kung Fu Man, 1970s. If you look carefully, you can see his hands are floating around in there. Both of his hands fell out. This is very common with this figure because they hot glued his joints together and then packed him, and the glue swells and then the hands fell out. But I don't want to open it.
But I mean, now in this case, would you open this to fix it?
I don't think you can fix it.
Well, okay.
But, I mean, if it was,
was like a pop in, like how
Yeah.
some figures you could pop the arm or the
if
leg
it could
off.
if it could be opened without violating the package, I might.
Because I know you did
it.
that for me.
Yeah.
I had a figure and the leg, it was sealed and the leg fell off.
Yes.
So we carefully opened it, put the leg back on,
because it wasn't a sealed. It wasn't a sealed box.
Yeah.
And it was We Win Meagle like Jonah and the Whale. And Jonah's legs fell off, and so I restrung it for her.
Yeah.
And put it back in the package.
Now I think that's doable. I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Or like I think what he's saying, where is it? Like if it's falling apart, taking it out and then just displaying it, because it's like, okay, you're already falling apart, so I'm gonna take you out of the box and just put you back together and then display you.
And you see
I think that's acceptable.
You see a lot of that with G.I. Joe muscle body figures. That's why they had to stop making them, because the elbow and knee joints disintegrate because they're rubberized.
He wants to get some Rambo figures, but he's not gonna.
Yeah, don't you do that, Johnny.
My goal is to collect Mego stamp carded figures. And always looking for my holy grail, the Remco Lost
the B9 robot. Yeah, the Remco, and both colors or just one? I think it came in two colors.
Cherry picking Marvel Legends, and that it moving forward, everything is just too pricey. NECA Cartoon Ninja Turtles have gone up because of sewer layer price hike. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it's okay if you open a figure to repair. If you open the package, you open the package to repair.
Yeah. And Gilgamesh is saying he got the O-rings for his Joes. He was able to fix all of them.
That's good.
It's been years, but they finally all stand again. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that either, replacing the O-ring to help preserve the figure.
Thought getting a 3D printer to replace missing. Now, we talked about, I think before you got here, Robert, we talked about 3D printed parts and how David was saying once they get old, they start falling apart.
Yeah, there's a big issue with that going on recently, where a lot of people are complaining about that. The thing, because you do like a crowdfunding special edition 3D printed this and that
Yeah.
action figure or whatever figurine, and now like 5-6 years down the line they're disintegrating, and that's
Mm.
something that no one ever expected or thought of.
But what about custom figures? Aren't those 3D printed?
Some are. So what's going to happen?
Yeah.
It remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen how that's going to hold up.
That's a mess.
Yeah, then you're better off with something that's been mold pressed if it can be done. But yeah, if people with 3D printing stuff, it's sketchy apparently.
Or if you buy an open figure to replace parts.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? If you find an open figure and then it has some parts that you need,
Yeah.
maybe you
If
can
it's
do that.
already open.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you could do that. I think 3D printed stuff looks
William
like
doesn't
cheap
like
junk.
it. Yeah. Well, you know, if you look close, you can see all the lines.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
If you're going to get repro parts, I would like for resin molded, not 3D printed.
Yeah.
Hashtag no repro.
No repros. Well, I don't want reproduction anything, because people ask me about that sort of thing all the time. I don't even want reproduction boxes.
What about the stickers? Because you see the repro stickers too.
No, I don't want repro stickers.
Just the 3D printed weapons or vehicle parts, not the figures themselves.
No.
But even that's still going to deteriorate on you.
And you can tell. You can tell a lot of the times looking at them, it's like, hey, that doesn't look right. You know,
oh yeah,
it's not quite, because again, if you look really close, you can see the lines from where the printer went across. It's not. I mean, unless somebody's going to go through the trouble to sand all that down, which is never going to happen because it's too time consuming.
You might do it for yourself.
Yeah, like I have that one Godzilla sitting there that that Mattel Shogun Warriors Godzilla missing a fist, and it's like, oh, you can get a 3D print if it is it. No, I can't. Never mind the fact that the damn 3D printed fist costs almost as much as if I found a regular one anyways. Why would I do that? I'd rather just hold out. A fist will turn up, or I'll find another version of that Godzilla that's broken in a different way, and I can combine them up and then sell the rest of it to someone else who can use those parts, maybe. You know. But
I guess I don't know. It's just a lot when it comes to collecting and stuff, and then you got to have your goals and your priorities in line. So that's all your goals for 2024.
Oh no, I mean, I've got other pieces, but I've got a list. I was actually thinking about doing a video talking about it.
What your goals for 2024?
Yeah, for like pieces that I'm looking for to complete certain sets. I've got the Hamburglar sitting right behind me.
He got those McDonald's
the Remco
figures.
1976. Grimace reminds me of Stacey Abrams. No, don't insult Grimace like that. Shame on you. But yeah, Hamburglar is right here. This is the Hamburglar from the 1976 Remco McDonald Land action figure series.
I like that set.
This is one of my favorite lines. Right
I like
here.
that set.
It's only 7 figures in one playset. And that's solid cardstock too. This is really thick. Yeah. Great artwork. That's fun artwork.
What year did that come out?
1976.
And then look, the bubble is still attached.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's a lot of good effort right there on the part of Remco. And then that's what the playset looks like. I have the playset. Mine is sealed though. That took years to find a sealed one. It really did. These are tough to find in this kind of shape too. Usually it's got a big clearance sticker on it. It looks, and you can't see the artwork, but I wanted them without that. I have a couple with price tags, but the price tags are small. Big clearance tag, I couldn't have taken it.
Robert, my goal, I'm revamping. I'm going to find, it's a couple of sets that I need, like onesie, twosies. Like
Yes.
my Defenders of the Earth set, I only need one, and I'm only getting action figures.
The
I don't.
vehicles from that are
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't really concern myself too much with vehicles
Uh-huh.
unless I'm at a show and the vehicle is there at a reasonable price. But I don't really too much look for vehicles, like go online, like with my Masters of the Universe stuff.
Hmm.
All of those vehicles I got at shows. The play sets I got at shows. Um, so it's like a few things, um, like the Beetlejuice. I'll get a couple of more Beetlejuice pieces.
Yeah.
I need one more for my Defenders of the Earth. If I see more Captain Planet, I'll get that. But
Yeah.
as far as the toys go, I don't really. I do want to get the sideshow 6 scale Universal Monster set, because I do want a 1/6 scale Universal Monster set, and the sideshow ones are under. You can find most of them for under $75,
Yeah.
or sometimes, yeah. Well, you might have onesie twosies that's 100, but they're still fairly cheap for 1/6 scale figures. They never went up. And I have their Twilight Zone and their Outer Limit figures, and they did a good job. So, I'll work on that. But and then with comic books, I'm gonna try to revamp that a little bit so I can get a little more streamlined instead of just being all over the place.
Yeah.
I want to do more stuff like that.
And then
No more He-Man, no more Thundercats. Um, but yeah, I got the Brave Star coming.
yeah. The or like in other things like Inhumanoids. I'm missing two pieces from the Inhumanoids.
Yeah, but those are expensive.
They can be expensive and they're hard to find in decent shape in the kind of condition I got them in. My carded figures are unpunched.
Mm-hmm.
To find and I'm missing one from the
Mm.
carded figures, but I need two pieces. The Mark Safari Adventure, I need three. Steve Scout, I need three.
Oh wow.
And two main pieces. One is a mail away. I'll probably never find because it's an ATV.
Oh.
I've never even seen one for sale.
Oh wow.
It's stuff like that, or like the Marks Archies that are sitting right here.
Uh-huh.
I need the jalopy.
I thought you had that.
I have the jalopy for the Mattel Archies,
Oh.
but not the Marks Archies.
Oh.
Stuff like that. With it, there's a lot of stuff I have. I'm like 1, 2, 3 pieces away from it. But like I said, I was thinking about doing a video about it so I can talk about certain toy lines or whatever people might be interested in.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Are the vintage Happy Meal toys worth anything?
Mostly they're not, because remember in the heyday of Happy Meals and Burger King prizes and stuff.
Yeah.
They made millions and millions and millions of them, and many of them were never even opened.
A lot of times when you go to shows, people have bins and bins of them for like $1 a piece.
Yeah.
And you can sift through them and find stuff. I found a couple on eBay because it was a few of them I want, like the Bernstein Bears. It was 4 pieces to that, and I got all 4 for like $5.
And it's funny because the Berenstein Bears,
mm-hmm.
the Happy Meal Berenstein Bears are the only examples of Berenstein action figures you're going to find at all.
No, that's not true. No. It is a set. You rarely ever see it. And sometimes when it's all 4 of them, mom, dad, and the 2 kids, and they came boxed. And if it's on there, it's only 1.
Those are dolls, though.
They call them action figure. They move. They face is like a plushy face, but their body and stuff move.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know if I would count that as a figure, though.
No,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, then the arms and legs
that's
move.
Negligible.
So. Now that's something I wanted, was the 70s Flash Gordon. And I was gonna get the NECA ones because the original is so expensive.
Yeah, the Mattel ones.
Yeah, those are very expensive. So I was planning on settling for the NECA ones, but NECA only came out with the 2. I think the original had like 4 or 5 pieces
Well,
to
yeah,
and some
there was a bunch of
vehicles.
figures from the 70, what was it, 1978 cartoon, something like that.
My Barnabas Collins is at a standstill because I cannot find anyone to do the 3D print of the
The hand,
cane.
yeah, the cane and
The
the
cane.
hand, because you need the ring.
But yeah, the ring.
Yeah,
And I talked to some people and they're looking like no. And I mean so I just kind of forgot about it and stopped, but everything is together except for the cane.
yeah,
So he can actually be displayed. Um he just won't have a cane. That's all.
yeah, and that's like part of his personality.
Yeah, as a cane, because he uses it. He fights with it. Not that he fights a lot, but it's a part of his whole costume. So you kind
Yeah,
of need it, but you can do without it. But you kind of need it. NECA has really great universal monsters. Yeah, but I want they don't have 6 scale.
yeah, that's what she wants.
Yeah.
And people, those older figures that when 6 scale started getting popular
Mm-hmm.
from Sideshow, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and
Yeah.
all these things that they did, even the Twilight Zone stuff
Yeah.
and the Outer Limits. It's fallen from grace because it doesn't meet the modern standard of 6 scale. So people they don't want them, and you could find that stuff pretty cheap on eBay now.
Yeah, I found them. That's how I got my the Twilight Zone set and the Outer Limits set. All of it $50 because except for like 2 pieces because I don't know why, but about 2 pieces were more than $100, but everything else
Yeah,
was in the $50 range. 6 scale figures. Yeah, I know they have
black and
them,
white. Yeah,
but I have just the average size, what 8 inch um Universal Monsters from Diamond Select,
yeah.
but I want the
The
6 scale. Yeah,
Migos like.
Meagle like, but I
Yes.
want the 6 scale like figure.
And DC says he's getting priced out for buying new collections. I like Migo because they're cheap and nostalgic. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're still under the $20 mark, I think, right? And nostalgic was
they
just
had
the
cherry
McDonald's
pie.
cherry pie dessert, even though there was only one cherry in the thing. That much? That's like Johnny Carson's old joke about Campbell's, because he had for those of you who remember the Carson show
Hmm.
back when late night television was actually entertaining, and he says, tragic news, Campbell's was forced to kill their second chicken today.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
because there's so little chicken in their chicken noodle soup. Uh, is what
That
he was.
one little chunk of chicken.
Yeah, that's what he. It's like everybody got that. That was funny.
Ross has that Bride of Frankenstein for $9. At
Yes.
least they do here in Georgia, because I was at Ross and they had the black and white Bride of Frankenstein. So it was $9. So you might can find it in your area. I still have hundreds of kids meals.
Nomsky says,
I'm
kids
not a
meal
Burger King.
toys from when I was a kid. It was a big
Wow.
deal.
It
It was a big
was.
deal. And Robert wants to know, they make toy McNuggets. Yes, they did. They made toy the McNugget characters with little
Hmm.
costumes, like little Halloween costumes and stuff that they used to do.
Funko made those.
Oh yeah, that's right. They made the McNuggets.
I'm doing Kit Bash Tom Baker. Looks good.
Okay,
The smiling head sculpt makes it look better. The normal sculpt not so good.
I see.
Okay.
Gilgamesh says only McDonald's toys that collected the changeables. I've got almost all of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, those are cool. Those are like the Transformers that turn into food.
Yeah, those are the ones you
Yeah,
said you wanted. Diamond Select Creature Without Sign. Oh, by
by
Green
Julie
Mark.
Adams.
Okay.
Julie Adams is the girl that he kidnaps, I think,
Oh, okay.
in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd like a set of those changeables myself. They had like 2 waves of them, I think, didn't they? And David wants to know, they sell Migos at Target and Big Bad Toy Store. I believe they do, and Walmart also
Yeah.
has them.
I know, but we haven't been to Target in a while. But
Yeah,
when we were there, they had like a million because seems like the toys in their toy select in section wasn't selling. So they had a lot, and so does Walmart.
Yeah.
Their toy selection, that little adult selection that they have,
Yeah.
doesn't really move that much.
No, and it shrinks
Yeah, it
more and
shrinks and
more every
doesn't
time.
move. Yeah,
Every time you go there, it's less and less
yeah.
because it's just falling from grace. And display says Migo lost Target. You can get them at Entertainment Earth.
Oh, okay.
Well, originally it was only available at Target.
When
And
they first started back up,
yeah, that's
and then they
because.
opened it up.
And if I'm, and I'm speculating here, but I think the reason for that is because Target has a program for where they will fund your project if you exclusively sell with them for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
And I think that's how Migo got back into the picture, is by saying, okay, we'll take your contract. And when that expired with Target, then they started doing whatever. Oh, they had, Gilgamesh says Changeables had 3 waves. Did they? I thought I don't remember exactly. I can't remember everything. I thought it was at least 2. But yeah, I like the Changeables myself. I would collect and display a set of the Changeables if I
Yeah,
had them.
you said you wanted those.
Yeah, because that was a neat concept from McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, where we are, it's about 11:15.
Mm-hmm.
So we should probably go ahead and start wrapping up. So watch out this week for, I've got the flea market video coming out.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll probably have up the
show
video
for
from
today.
today's show.
Yeah.
And you can see all of our pickups at the end of that. It's probably like 45 minutes long, actually. Probably do a video on like stuff I'll hopefully looking for this year, but you never know. You never know. Like I said, it's targets of opportunities at this point, because you can't. I don't have like millions of dollars where I can just run around and say, yes, I will take this and that. And
we need that lottery money.
Yeah, we need that lottery money. But I if I find a really great deal, I'll try to jump on it, and that's the best I can do. And it keeps you from finishing waves, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks to everybody who was able to join us here tonight. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And if we get a chance, maybe we'll do this again sometime soon. And of course, maybe a collaboration. We get a couple of collaborations we're trying to line up, and maybe you can catch us then as well.
Yay! Y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining and hanging out with us for these 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
we really enjoyed it.
Okay, so we'll see you again sometime soon.
Bye.